I can hear the game, but not you.
For fuck's sake, so we have to redo that fucking entire intro. Just kidding. Okay. Yay, the stream's actually started now, guys. Welcome to the stream. Let's go to the stream. And the BF-109 Zwilling, which is a Z1 Zwilling with the G airframe, not the F airframe that was actually built and then destroyed by the Allies because we're fucking retarded. Yep. And, okay, also, apparently the MK-108s did get a new cannon sound. Oh, I'm out. Well, okay. Thanks for somebody to say that there's no sound. But before as we get into this, the one thing I'm going to say now that the sound is working, everything, as we go back to the menu, let's have a talk about some of my fellow YouTubers having what appears to be a Hillary Clinton email witch hunt over the Abrams and stuff. Is this a way to treat new players to, you know, immediately banish them to the realm of you're all a bunch of wallet warrior tryhards? You know, that's... You know, I think a fellow YouTuber of mine talked about in a video how there's a disconnect between veterans, new players, the content creators, and the developers. You know, the developers have been doing better about being more active with the player base and taking their feedback. They've been better with us as content creators, like giving us, like, for a matter of the fact that in this dev server, you can see clearly I have a butt ton of Golden Eagles for once, and I have access to all the new vehicles in the game, unlike previous dev patches where they just give you, like, I don't know, 100,000 or like 50,000 Golden Eagles, and you're like, well, let's see how far you can get down the tree with gold, you know? So they've been better about that.
Finally, that gold transferred. Honestly.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of the fellow YouTubers have been, like, a lot of these guys have been making kind of a big whoop about something that honestly it's going to be an issue for about 2 weeks. We all know the truth is when the Abrams, there's going to be a butt ton of spamming Abrams, but then the real meta tanks will come into play. Like, I don't know, this beautiful little sucker from the glorious Japanese Empire, the Type 90. The Type 90 Kiromaru. Basically a miniature Leopard with an auto-loading 120mm Rheinmetall smoothbore gun. Yeah. Okay, so, and of course, this is, by the way, disclosure, this is the dev server, so all armor values will change, possibly change, but not so. Of course, obviously, there's steel on the outside, but that's not what we're interested in. So, looks like that current value, so against kinetic energy munitions, the front of a Kiromaru is capable. The cheeks are capable of handling 360 millimeters, and the area around the mantlet, unlike some other tanks I've seen, actually has composite armor and is capable of withstanding 180 millimeters, but it can withstand, the outer cheeks are capable of withstanding up to 600 millimeters. So either that's a little low or a little high. I haven't actually researched all this. Again, this is why we call these an impromptu dev server stream. Yep.
Ooh, can you show off the cameras for the Type 9?
And a question from Zapper. You probably are a console player. When the absolute fuck will this come out for the Xbox? Whenever Gaijin decides to release the patch. And this is kind of something, if you're all new from Xbox and wondering like, what is War Thunder? And you don't know, the one thing, they don't normally put an actual date. They'll just say, oh, War Thunder's going to be down for maintenance, but since this is the dev server, we can expect it less in the next 2 weeks or less, as it's always been. But, so, going on, we're going to test drive this sucker. So, we all know, everybody's been up about the Abrams, like this and that. I was on a rant before I got distracted by this beautiful little Japanese tank. The thing is, to assume immediately that all new players are wallet warrior tryhards, I think that's an insult to new players, and that's not a way that we should be welcoming new players to the game as a content creator. So all the new players out there who will probably stumble onto this video later, or all the new guys coming in for the Xbox, welcome to War Thunder. This is the top end of War Thunder with the Type 90 here, and it's, this is a, oh god, this thing's accelerating pretty quickly. Whew. Fast, it's pretty fast.
You just loaded in on my screen.
Yeah, this thing's pretty fast. Oh, Jesus Christ, the heat round just went through the front of an IT-1. Oh boy. No skill. And let's see. Let's see how fast that autoloader goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-second autoloader with a 120 millimeter Rheinmetall. Oh, ooh. Jesus. Oof. Oof. Yeah. Abrams, you got something. Right now. You got issues. Let's see, T10M. Oh, I missed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep.
Unstop T54 into the manlet.
Just bounce that one in. I'm just shooting randomly. Oh, well, the T10M is on fire now. But yeah, that's scary. What we're looking at here is kind of scary. A very small tank with an auto-loading 120 millimeter. That's just going, fuck you. Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.
Japan is very environment.
Yep. So yeah. So this is the top end of War Thunder, and this is probably the low-key meta of War Thunder. But I digress. So I got the patch notes pulled up on another one, and if you've been to any of these impromptu live streams I do for the dev servers, you know the deal. We're going to sit here for the next probably hour and 40, and we're just going to go left to right on the new shit that's coming to the game. So, of course, we're going to start with the US, and of course, we're going to get some things out of the way. But first, let's talk about a vehicle that's already in the game that apparently has gotten an updated model. So, the whoa. Yeah, that's new. So the T-32 heavy tank in the US tank tree has gotten a brand new overall model. So 127 millimeter on the front plate, 203 around the mantlet, about effectively 300, 500 plus around the mantlet. So brand new model for the T-32 heavy tank, which is the 7.0 with the extended 90mm barrel.
That's gonna make spawn that thing a lot easier because you can't tell the difference between that thing and a Persian.
Yep. So yeah, so brand new HD model for the Type 32. That's good. So for a question from Anthony Ardone, John, do you think there should be premium jets? If they feel the need to, I wouldn't be against it. It always comes down to the vehicle that they actually choose to make the premium. That's the issue. That's always what it comes down to, is that the vehicle has, what vehicle are they going to give us as the premium vehicle? You know, they've already kind of given us out.
Classify.
Yeah, what you classify as premium. So On the other hand,
because we got the LA-174.
Yeah, all the rare jets, but for now we're gonna keep moving through. So the T-32, and then the first off. So one thing some people don't seem to appreciate about all these Abrams coming in, Gaijin can officially make the claim that they now have the complete early developmental history of the M1 Abrams in a video game.
Nice.
So after the MBT-70 project, the United States attempted to save the project by continuing on with the XM803, which is essentially a slightly worse MBT-70 to my knowledge. It was meant to try to make the project cheaper, but it ended up being a failure. But of course, as we know, a lot of the tech that came out of the XM803 project ended up going to the Abrams. And we will talk about that in just a moment. So the only real difference, as I understand it, between the XM801 and the MBT-70 is the fact that you no longer have the roof-mounted 20mm. It's now a 50 caliber automatic turret, but you still have the same gun system on the tank with a much slower and different visual on the heat rounds. Did anybody notice that? That's interesting.
Well, you just got into the thing for me, so.
Yep. So there's that, and then of course the. Okay.
He does work differently.
He has to go to work. Okay, so my friend just left. Yep. So, yeah, so this is the XM803. Basically, the bigger, better, the next development of the MBT-70. It is foldered, by the way, so you can actually, this is a completely optional vehicle. Yeah.
I still reckon people are going to get it just because why not?
Yep. So, yeah.
More
God, there's
MBTs
31 of
in
you.
the lineup.
It's always with the dev server streams. A lot of people just jump on to go look at it. Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay, so they may have changed some things with the rendering because that loaded in pretty smoothly. Interesting. Also, things seem shinier on the dev server. I don't know. Okay, so, and now let's talk about, the big elephant in the room with the United States here. This is the failure. I mean, well, the prototype that didn't get chosen, the XM1 Abrams, the General Motors. Yeah, that's right. General Motors builds other stuff other than, trucks and semis, whatever the fuck they do.
God.
So let's look at this Abrams guy. I kind of skipped over the armor for the XM803 because I know that's not as interesting. So let's check out what the armor values here for the GM are. So equivalent.
Freedom.
So let's talk about this. So first and foremost, there is a giant ass weak spot on this Abrams. One, there is no armor around the mantlet or around the gun breech whatsoever, and there is a giant ass fucking shot to go right into the front of the turret. So I would say if you're gonna try to kill this sucker in a battle, literally just aim under gun mantlet. You'll probably blow this tank to kingdom come with an APHE
So if
round.
you know how to kill a regular Abrams, you can kill this thing.
Yeah.
Because
so
the Abrams has the same problem.
Yep. That's here. So the hull armor is much weaker than it seems like. It's a bit weaker. It's not Choblin, unlike the actual Abrams. It's just spaced armor here. So spaced armor with a kinetic energy. So basically anything can pen the front of this. You can pen the front of the hull with basically anything at its tier. And I guessed it right. The XM1 would be a 9.0. So in the end, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? It's just another top tier premium. It's at 9.0. And it seems like this is going to be about the most easily pennable vehicle compared to the actual M1, which can indeed tank shots from the front. Let's see. The turret actually does have. Yeah, the turret seems to actually have some composite armor. I don't know. Let's see. So it's 280 for kinetic and chemical energy weapons, 540. It has the M68 cannon, which, if I'm correct, is the same cannon as featured on your standard M60. Yep, just like so. You have the XM1 has the M60's cannon in its ammo complement, I suppose. Let's check that now. Here with its modifications, so it gets an ammo complement starting. Yeah, it gets the same ammo complement as the, as the M60s, including a dart, the M735. Heat round, Hesh round, so on and so forth. Well, by the way, they are going to be taking on this. Everything is frozen but the audio. Is the audio frozen for anyone? Okay, never mind. Somebody said only you. No, you. Thine maternal parent is a homosexual.
Yes, people in chat, we will get to all of the goodies soon.
So yeah, so let's check out. So basically the XM1 Abrams is honestly, this is, by the way, disclaimer, this is the PC premium package. For all you Xbox guys out there, you guys are getting the Chrysler prototype, which is available for $50, though I'm gonna say check out the tanks at the lower tiers first before jumping into high tiers, because basically at high tiers, armor doesn't fucking matter. You're gonna die, regardless.
Skill matters.
It really does. But so yeah, so this is, it's a faster moving tank, noticeably, because this has a diesel engine and a different transmission. But the armor, the frontal armor seems to not be as strong to my first impression. Especially the hull. The hull armor is much different. It doesn't seem to have the same kind of trolling capability as our standard Abrams, but we will check that out now. I'm just firing the APDS round because I didn't load the dart. There we go. It's dead. So we're gonna move back to go look at this because we're gonna. Hey, come on. This is not. Somebody delete that comment, please. We're not gonna go into that.
Yes.
Please. That's not cool. We're not gonna be talking about genocide and shit on my stream, please. Thank you. Okay, so let's go back to our actual Abrams. So, our actual Abrams is capable of basically stopping. Basically, a Raketen Jagdpanzer's rockets will get stopped by this. It actually has armor over the gun breech, so you can't shoot through there. And also, you can shoot. It still has that like turret ring weakness, but also the lower front plate of the Abrams is capable of stopping quite a few different rounds as well. So, and also the armor of the Abrams turret extends all the way around. Let's go back to our XM1 Abrams.
Still can be killed by armor, 2H.
And the armor only covers the front of the turret. There is no armor whatsoever covering the side of the turret. So, yeah, this is a dramatically easier tank to kill. This is not going to be the same thing as the M1 Abrams. Even if the armor values are kind of, in progress, we don't know if these will change. The armor values are not comparable to that of the M1 Abrams. And this is probably the biggest weakness, in my opinion, of this tank already. There is no armor covering around the gun mantlet. You can easily, the biggest weakness on this tank is the 30 millimeters of armor or 40 millimeters of armor around the gun mantlet. So if you want to kill the XM1, shoot the gun mantlet with a sufficient shell that can pen through that. Like most APHE shells from the Russians will fucking go right through that and kill the entire crew. Yeah, or disable it severely.
The gun breach doesn't just eat everything like it does.
Yeah. Well, if you shoot above the gun breach, that's the thing. Though, of course, it hits the gun breach. But even then, you can also shoot below the gun breach, go through the turret ring, and kill the crew. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Though, I will say the driver is slightly more protected because he's off to the side. Though, but that's kind of a moot point for the fact that there is an ammo rack right here behind it. So, what is that fuel tank? It's tiny. What the hell? Why? America, why? Why is there this small fucking fuel tank? What is that supposed to be? The beer can? Is that where we store all the beer instead? It has acceleration.
Now you see, if we have no fuel tanks in the tank, they can't set fires.
Yeah. But yeah, so to me, personally, again, this once again proves to me that, honestly, sure, people will buy this tank. High tiers will get spammed for a month. But at the end of the day, this tank is not an M1 is not the M1 Abrams. It's just the prototype.
The thing must have a lot of gallons to the
so
mile.
It's going to be faster than your normal Abrams, but it's not. It doesn't have the same kind of survivability that the in-game Abrams will. Of course, people will probably make bullshit videos showing Abrams surviving situations that it shouldn't, probably because all the other people on the enemy team are kind of dumb. And we kind of have to say that, not all War Thunder tankers are, professionals here. Some of them, we've all encountered really stupid players. People who
encountered those people who have lost IQ in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Like a fucking just sitting there in Rakitan Jagdpanzer, and you just have some fucking tank just drive by you like, nah, what's over there? Was that a
tank? I don't think that was a tank.
Yeah, exactly. So, in the end, honestly, I think, let's put this to rest. The XM1 GM is fast, but it does not have the same kind of gun armament overall because, let's see, the M1 Abrams is equipped with the M68A1 cannon. The M1 Abrams is equipped with the standard M60 cannon. So, there's that. And and of course, the M1 Abrams starts off with a dart, whereas a dart and the improved M774 dart. Oh, Skiller X, we just kind of looked at the Zwilling, but we'll look at it again in just a moment. So, again, the XM1 Abrams GM, it is basically an Abrams, but it's an Abrams prototype, but it's nothing like the actual M1 Abrams. It's actually killable from the side of the turret, from the front, and so on and so forth, and it does not get an ammo complement equal to that of the M1 Abrams. It gets the same ammo complement that you would find on the high tier M60s. So, yeah, let's put that to rest. So having put that to rest, next up for the US, we're going to go right into aircraft. So, first and foremost, for all you low-tier aircraft fans... right.
Got a,
yeah. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. So, by the way, the Magok tank, for all you guys who have bought the great Israeli Natsma, that is the Magok.
What we call the Jew tank, for some reason.
The Jew tank, yeah, for some reason. Apparently, I can't test out the armor package. I might have to... oh, wait, it's a bundle. I can't buy it with Golden Eagles. Fuck! You had one job, Guy Jiggles! One job! You see this?
Yeah,
you see this? You see this? This is an Xbox controller.
Breaks into a million pieces.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. And just like it as I assumed, Guy Jiggles actually did their job right. So, for all of you Magok owners out there, you get a free upgrade. And for all new people who buy the vehicle, you get a free upgrade to the Blazer 3 ERA package. So basically, yeah, your Magok has more armor protection against heat rounds, so some stupid idiot fires at you at that tier with a heat round, you'll survive it, look at them, laugh at them, and then shoot them in the face with an APDS round.
So to be fair, honestly, all you did was buy a premium M60 Rise.
Yeah, essentially. It's now a premium M60 Rise based on an M48 chassis, but it doesn't get a roof-mounted 50 cal, so it's not freedom enough. Okay.
Fails the pen with APTS.
Yep. Though, okay, I reckon it's just a cash grab for the American whales, but, the thing is, it is a free-to-play game. How else are they going to make money? Let me ask you that. How else will they make money off a game like this? You can't make money off a game you can't, unless they do something like, if anybody watches Extra Credits or subscribe to them, they did a video on blockchaining and how one theoretical idea for a free-to-play game is that a blockchaining game where the devs are able to pay for the game using Bitcoin mining. That's the simple explanation, but I digress. So now with the Magok out of the way, I don't think I missed anything with the US tanks. Back to America. Okay, so back to America. Back to what I was going to say. So for all you early World War II fans out there, say hello to the updated P40E model. Look at that sexy new model. Oh my god, HD high res. And that skin, it's all nice and shiny. It doesn't look like it's from friggin', 2008 or 2012. You know, when Birds of Steel or Birds of Prey, whatever it was called back in the day, before it became War Thunder, was out.
I still reckon the New Zealand skin for the P40 looks good. Just the white and the
white Warakara. Was it this one? Yeah. Yeah, this one.
The white going down the wings.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. So this is the updated P40E model, but of course everybody, for all you World War II fans out there, we now have the P40F model, which is slightly longer overall, but that's because it now is equipped, the P40Fs are now equipped with a Allison V1710, which is,
nice.
Wait, what? V1710, isn't that, wait a minute, isn't it supposed to have a Merlin in it?
Oh wait, did the skin transfer over to the F10?
Yep. Well, it'd be nice to see in HD. It's only 720. Well, it's HD enough because nobody really wants to stream in 1080. If I streamed it in 1080, there would be fucking connection issues, Fly. Also, you can join us down here if you want. If you can. In the Discord. You're joined to the Discord, man. Ooh. Look at that Lenny face, boys and girls. Just that. Oh. Oh my. Oh my. Lenny face.
I wonder how good it will be, or if it will just be obsolete in a matter of... Hello and welcome.
Yeah, so let's take this guy out for a drive. After making that rant about the XM1 and how some of my fellow YouTubers are being, having that. This always happens every time they add a top tier premium, like, the IS6 or the T29, the Ingester IS6, T29. It always turns into a bloody witch hunt. And, like, I'm just going to do that Tony Stark impression, like, Yeah, okay. Now, with that rant out of the way, we will go on to the P40F. So this is the newer P40 that should be equipped with it should be like a American licensed Merlin engine, right? Like, otherwise, yeah, it's just, of course, yet again, this being a dev server, there's always going to be errors, like the fact that it should say, like, a Merlin engine of some sort, unless the Allison engine that's in there is the Merlin variant. I need to just,
I remember the last episode, one of the new planes they added had an engine that, never existed, or was never put onto that plane.
Yeah, so basically this is the later model of the P40. Hopefully in the future we'll get something like the P40N with the 4-bladed prop. That would be nice, personally. But yeah, so we'll now have this P40, which was used more so, I think, in the European theater. The P40Es were used a lot in the African theater and the Pacific theaters. Yeah, the P40Fs were very well known in the European theater, especially in the Mediterranean. So, Angela Barker. No, I haven't got to the Italians. We're going from left to right on this. Going one by one, talking about each of the vehicles from both aircraft and tanks. So, stick around. I'm only going to do this once. If you want to, check out a vehicle I've already checked out and viewed, patch notes for guys who are watching on YouTube is in the link in the description. So check that out. So somebody has just mentioned there is a new 50 cal sound. So we're going to listen to that from the quietest part.
Oh, that's right. Right, I've had the stream muted, so I haven't heard any of those.
Yeah, no, it's actually really interesting. It's not like what it was before. It's like quieter pops that you would actually be in the cockpit of the aircraft, kind of.
I wonder what
Let's see what that sounds like from the cockpit.
They do sound nice.
You can almost hear the mechanical sound to a point, like the sound of the gun recoiling.
I wonder what M3 sound like.
Does that mean this begs the question, were they listening? Were they watching out for the Kiwi's gun sound mod and just kind of looked at it? That just begs the question.
Possibly.
Uh-oh. Encoding overload. Encoding overload. Danger. Encoding overload on OBS, but okay. Doesn't seem to be affecting the stream. Yeah, guys, at least tell me if something's going wrong with the stream. YouTube on my end from my laptop says it's going fine, but just want to make sure. But yeah, so the new P40F, brand new sexy plane, coming soon when the patch drops, which is probably less than 2 weeks.
I think that's going to be my favorite plane out of the patch, because I do like the P40s.
Yep, and then I'm just going to sit here and drink some Well, like half of this, I don't know, like
potato water.
Hot dog water.
Potato water.
Potato, fruit flavored potato water. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those like Seagram's escapes. Like it's just like, yeah. There was a party downstairs, that's why. Okay, so P40. Talked about the P40. And of course, surprise to wait, where is it? Oh. Well, they stuck it at the end of the God damn it, Gaijin. I said A for Skyhawk, not FJ for B, but who cares? So say hello to the last US last Saber variant to go into service with the United States, and this went into service with the U.S. Marine Corps and the U.S. Navy. This is the FJ-4B, basically a navalized Saber, though this one was built specialized for fighter bomber duties, hence why it's in the U.S. attacker tree. Apparently, it carries a butt ton of shit, which I can absolutely just use the glorious power of if it would process faster. Internal server character error. What? Okay, nope, never mind. Wait, internal wrong name? What? This is why it's a dev server, ladies and gentlemen.
Are those
this is what we call
same
dev
20
server
mils
error.
on the last Saber?
These seem to be different.
No.
These are the Browning Colt Mark 12 Mod 3 cannons. Let's go take a look at our
jam immediately.
Okay, so let's look quickly at the Saber. F-Saber is equipped with the FMC T160s. So, okay, so the one thing that this Saber has an advantage of, it carries more ammo. But the question is, does it burn? Does it burn? No, does it burn like a Saber? Hey, oh, hello, this is a new place. So, appears we also get a new location for test drives on certain naval aircraft. This is Wake Island. Not a carrier.
While since I've seen Wake Island.
So, let's get this guy up into the air. This is a big boy here. So, this was the last Saber variant to go into U.S. service with any of the branch forces. This was the F-4B model specifically is designed as a fighter bomber. It carries a butt ton of ordnance, so this is definitely a close air support aircraft, especially for top tier. So more top tier close air support, and this is basically the supersonic or subsonic close air support aircraft for the United States, comparable to, well, there isn't really anything comparable to it, to my knowledge at least. We'll talk about that in a moment. Dude, submarines in that game. Oh, the April Fools. That was a fun April Fools. I will gotta say that. That was a fun April Fools.
Does that have a tow hook, JonMan?
Wait, what?
The plane, does it have a tow hook so I can land on aircraft carriers?
Yes, it does.
It does. Actually, it does. We'll try landing on this carrier below me, though, of course, that's going to be kind of difficult because that is not a carrier you land this aircraft on.
Also,
we still don't...
changed a little.
A little.
Yeah, you land on like a midway class aircraft carrier.
So let's check. Oh wait, let's check out the cockpit. Oh my, this is a sexy cockpit. Look at all this shit. Simulator fans, eat your heart out. Look at that. Whew. The pinnacle of technology for 1950s. Yeah.
It's just a dial.
Look at that. Pinnacle of cockpit technology. Look at that shit. But yeah, so let's check out these new cannons, though. Oh, that's a different sound. Okay, so these cannons are not Daka. They actually act like 20 mils you would find on other, like, aircraft. Like, they're kind of Hispanos, I guess? In the sense of they're not gonna fucking just empty the mag instantly. So, much better for ammo conservation and a lot more friendly to new pilots or new jet pilots. Fuck, man, I might even do this for a guide video next time. Kappa. Good roll rate at low altitude. It goes pretty fast. Of course, when this thing is loaded down with like 3,000 pounds of ordnance, that's a different story.
Have fun going far. fast.
Yep, but of course, the ultimate test of any new naval aircraft in War Thunder. First, we're gonna empty it.
Those sound like Call of Duty guns.
Kind of do, but I think that's the one thing a lot of players complain is like certain guns sounded a bit too, what is it, bassy, and you don't necessarily hear that kind of report when you're in the air because there's things louder than the report of the gun, like, you know, traveling at subsonic speeds and stuff. You can also mean me because Wake Island.
Does it have air brakes? It seems like some of it should have air brakes.
Big ass air brakes.
Huh.
It's the fantail ass open type of air brakes.
Ah.
So yeah, we're gonna take a nice long approach here. I'm gonna keep the what is it? I'm gonna keep the booster at about, or jet at about 25%. Slowly maintain speed here. That feel when he doesn't know. What do I not know? Tell me. Tell me. Okay. So we're gonna go in for a landing here. Flaps landing. Air brakes. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. So let's see. Hook deploy. Ah, this might be an easy landing. Let's see, we're going in. Let's see. Lift and boom.
Really? You use those cannons to slow down. Oh, it does that. That is what you call a good landing. I get good marks for that one. I didn't fuck this one up. And this carrier is still moving. But also, yeah, the carriers have been... Wait, is this a bigger carrier? This looks like... This is the USS Lexington. Or it's... Yeah, it is the Lexington, but it looks nicer. The carrier looks a lot nicer. Even though the deck is low-res textures. But, you know, that's a different story. No longer have guys running across the...
Oh yeah, the carrier deck. You know, I kind of missed that animation though. Like when you start off on the carrier, you just see the guy like, ready, go.
And he just phases through your plane, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Also, I've noticed they've knocked back the amount of control, landing like cables. Like, you know how there used to be landing cables across the whole carrier? Now it's kind of like realistic where there's only like 4 cables at the back.
Yep.
I've never known.
You've opened a battle trophy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, what are you giving me now? What guy gibbles? Oh boy. Oh god. Oh god.
Iron comes out of nowhere. You're stealing my aircraft carrier.
Disclaimer.
Videos.
This is only for content creators, and this is only for content creators because of the dev server. Thank you, Guy Gibbles, for thinking about your content creators.
What?
Hey, how else are we gonna show up?
Have the same opportunities.
Hey, how else am I gonna show off this shit? You know, back the last couple of dev servers what I did, I couldn't show off any of the late shit. I had to say go check out Miles or stuff. But hey, now I can show you all the shit, so we can do the whole, you know, full shish kaboom right here.
F-84, huh?
For the French,
okay.
they gave the
So now that we've looked at the Americans, we are moving on straight to the Germans. And first and foremost, let's do aviation because they only get one thing dispatched to my knowledge.
No, they don't.
Oh, wait. Yeah, let's start with aircraft because they get a whole bunch of shit. So let's show off this thing here.
Sure, the CFA AT-177 has the Fritz X.
Yep. Yeah, again, be patient with me, man. We will get to it. If you can't watch it right now, you can watch it later. The stream will be available after I'm done. I don't hide these streams after I'm done. So this, ladies and gentlemen, as we were talking about earlier with, you know, an audio mishap, is the BF-109Z1. Keyword Z1. The actual one that was built was the Z0. That was based off of F airframes. It was built, it was ready for testing, but then the Allies fucking blew it up, as usual. The one that we have in game is technically a fiction.
Typical
this is
Americans
this is the BF-109Z1, which uses 2 G airframes glued together, And of course, as you can notice, there's only one pilot in the aircraft. The other cockpit does not exist. It's empty. It probably just has, yeah, it just has more fuel. There's a fuel tank in the place of the other pilots. So if you really want to give a BF-109Z a bad day, you shoot the left. Either you kill the pilot who's sitting in the right cockpit facing you in a head-on, or you shoot the left cockpit, set the fucker on fire, and watch him burn to death. So
that's where the plane just
the
separates
BF-109
and becomes a single 109.
Yep, so the BF-109Z, noticeably, it seems like the propellers spin in the same direction, so this thing in simulator battles, I would imagine, would have a severe yaw to the left, I think the left or the right, something like that.
That torque
Oi.
would send you to the
Watch
left.
watch it with that, or I'm gonna have, you know, watch it with
The
the
hand
words.
of Stalin will come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and
watch it
ban
with the
you.
comments, guys. Come on. Haven't had an
Be
issue.
civilized, boys.
Be civilized. This is not a place for dank, edgy memes. I like my dank memes, but I don't like edgy memes. People with no lives. Yeah. But back to the 109Z. So the 109Z in-game is a premium pack. It's not replacing the Dora, to my knowledge. I don't think it is. Some people said it's replacing the Dora, the D13. I don't think it will be. The Dora is still a very good Vodka Wolf. So this one is equipped with 4 MK108, so 2 in the noses of 2 motor cannons and 2 wing-mounted pods. So it's basically 430 millimeters. It will definitely destroy bombers. This is definitely a bomber destroyer. This is what you call this is a destroyer. You use this to kill enemy bombers.
Or B-17s.
Yeah, B-17s rip when you reach this. Also, let's check out that cannon sound again.
That's if you can even hit them.
Actually, you can hear the mechanics with that. Yeah, we will test out the 20mm sounds in a moment, Arbane. One of you.
Wait, you can replace those with MG1?
No, you can't replace those. Somebody's asking to check out the gun sounds for that. So, okay, first and foremost, the big weakness of the Z model.
It's turn time.
Look at that roll rate. That's disgustingly slow. That's slow.
109s aren't really supposed to roll.
The F-82, that it's basically the only other aircraft that's literally like this, is better on a lot of measures, especially when it comes to armament. For some reason, the German designers thought, okay, let's not put the armament in the middle. It's probably because of how closely the airframes are together. So they're forced to put the armament on the outside and through the motor cannons, but the F-82 has all of its armament concentrated in the center, plus it gets that ridiculous gun pod. So F-82s versus Zwillings, it probably won't end well, honestly, because this thing just doesn't have the, like, some of that, you have to, even with a snap roll, this thing doesn't really roll really well, noticeably, at least to my
You can
feeling.
see where you can see where the Germans came up with the idea of that, of the P-38Ks, or
Yeah,
what
P-38s.
the Germans called the
I think Fork-tailed
Yeah,
Devil,
in
and the
Africa.
Japanese called it Money Tank, though. If you rewatch, you could go back maybe about 10 minutes. I made a very long rant about a specific tank. We're not going to do that again.
Yes, we've got other things
so
to show off than going back.
Arbani is Jill. So why did the Germans come up with this idea for this design? Basically, from what I've read, the Germans came up with the design because they wanted something to replace the next aircraft we're about to talk about, which had already started to go out production, and that is first and foremost, let's look at a brand new in-game model for the BF-110. Oh man, that looks great. It no longer looks like an ancient piece of crap. And it's now known as the C7. The first BF-110 that you get in the game is known as the C7, and apparently now can also install a 1,000 kilogram bomb. Holy Jesus.
About time.
So there's that. Hitler was drunk. Yeah, that make
The
more
Luftwaffe
stupid
was
how
drunk.
to. Yep, the Luftwaffe was drunk. Well, Goring was high on morphine, so that isn't,
They were all high.
But on the other hand, there are also new models of the BF-110s. So this is the BF-110 F2, equipped with Daimler-Benz 601F engines, each of them generating about 1,000 horsepower apiece. An array of MG17s and 2 MG FFM cannons. Oh, FFM cannons. Oh boy. That means mine shells.
Catch you boys later.
Yep, see ya, Doge. So this... Oh, it gets to carry rockets. Oh boy.
German rockets on.
So it carries rockets, 12 of them. We will fly out the last version of this aircraft. So we have the F2 model and then the last BF-110. They're not foldered, by the way. So if you haven't already gotten to like the Do 217s and stuff, well, new players, you got a lot of shit to grind through, boys, in the German tree. A lot more shit. So this is the BF-110 G2, the one of the later models. This is equipped with, oh Jesus Christ, it has 2 MK108s and 2 MG151s.
Oh.
What in the actual... At 3.3! Oh. Excuse me, Gaishin. What?
I'm in love.
Oh, Russian bias, American bias. Meanwhile, in Germany... 3.3! 3.3!
And everyone thought the fucking HE premium thing was fucking broken.
This is stupid. It's 3.3 and it has 2 of these.
Oh my god.
And also an upgrade for the rear gunner. He gets a twin MG81 installation. So there's that. And let's see, what engines is this sucker powered with? It's the DB605, so this thing is capable, probably when spaded, I estimate around 308, maybe 360 to 380 miles per hour, possibly even 400. Okay, 400 is a little optimistic, but still. Oh boy, this is something you don't want to head on. That's gonna hurt. That's going to hurt.
Yeah. I also like the gun pod for the 37. That's interesting.
That is gonna be such a glorious
Blitzen,
fucking meme.
why is everybody live streaming the dev server? Because everybody's live streaming the dev server.
Everyone wants to see what's new.
Yeah, exactly what Ben the Nerd just said. Because it's new, it's shiny, and it smells like a brand new car. Okay, so with the aircraft out of the way, so basically the new 110s have more different varied armaments, and the last one we get in the tree basically is gonna be the fuck you and your everything 110. The question is, will it fly better? Will it fly better than any of the ME410s?
Ooh, can you see if the Erados get the Fritz X? Or is it only the
Hold up. Do we have to do this? Do I really have to do this right now? Fly one. Can one of you? Let's see. One of you deal with the guy named Watnov. In the Twitch stream. Fly around if you're still here.
I wasn't watching at the moment. I had to close it out because it was causing my game to have like 60% packet loss.
Yeah, but can you
I'm just watching your stream, but
yeah, let's deal with this because we're trying to show off the dev server here. I don't want people arguing in the chat and shit. You know, this is not fun. This is not when I came here. I already had to make a rant about how other YouTubers were just kind of having a panic attack about some of the top tier premiums, you know, kind of demonizing new players who, you know, 80% of them will kind of look at the new Abrams tank premium and they go, ooh, shiny, and then move on with their lives, you know, because most of them are kind of broke. So, and then there's going to be the 10% who will want to collect the vehicle, and then the other 10% who will buy it, go into top tiers, and get destroyed by things like the brand new top tier German tank, the Leopard 2A4. For all you stupid wereaboos who have been begging for it for the past week. Jesus Christ.
because of the fucking April Fool's event from last year.
Yeah, but, yeah, so, rejoice, Bundeswehr. We have the Leopard 2A4. And from what I've been told, because of the 2A4's rather long service history and the way they set up the armor packages, this will be a very easy vehicle to change because they can simply just change what armor packages are on the vehicle. Obviously, steel armor about 35 millimeters to 45, but that we don't care about the steel armor. We care about the Jesus Christ, that armor. Thing. Look at that armor protection, boys and girls. It actually has protection over the mantlet, around only. Though, of course, dev server values, these are not the final values. By the way, the battle rating of this vehicle is 9.7. Ooh, another thing that I remember discussing with some other friends. Yeah, they moved up the BRs. So this is the top tier now. It's 9.7. This is a 9.7 vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. So, composite armor here.
Game.
Yeah, so here we go.
Game.
Kinetic energy munitions can penetrate. Can protect around the mantlet, can protect from 180 millimeters, chemical energy 210. On the left side of the turret facing the player, anybody who goes head on with this thing, up to 600 millimeters of munitions and can 360 millimeters from kinetic rounds, optics, and then behind that optics is the same thickness of composite armor. On the other side, it can actually protect up to 650, and nearly 400 millimeters from kinetic energy rounds. Side of the turrets can protect from up to 205 millimeters from chemical rounds, 180. There's some spaced armor around the ammo storage, and most likely the spaced armor around the ammo storage rear of the turret. This is most likely going to be blowout panels from what it looks like. Don't know if
still gets cut by a whole row.
Yep. In front of the tank, lower plate can protect from up to 200 millimeters kinetic, 260 from chemical. Upper front plate is equivalent to the left side of the turret facing. And in addition to the fuel tanks, there's also spaced armor around the rolled homogeneous armor around the fuel tanks. So the fuel tanks are essentially additional spaced armor. And of course the giant ass diesel transmission and all that goodness. And of course the standard MG3 on the roof. And the coaxial, let's take this sucker out for a test drive.
Okay, dude. You again.
He's gone.
Good.
Yep. Though, in all seriousness, with the wearaboos comment, seriously, it's just a matter of the fact, it's not to everyone, it's just the fact that literally every dev blog up to until this thing came out, it was, where's my Leopard 2? For fuck's sake, I feel really bad for Thule and Wishi, you know, the moderators who have to deal with this shit. You know, I would be pulling my hair out if I had to deal with their job. Honestly, I have all the respect for the War Thunder mods who have to deal with idiocy every day. Oh, that go boom! That's the heat round too. I didn't even load forgot to load the other round. But yeah, that's a big nasty gun on a big nasty tank. So 2A4 has a little bit less armor than the Abrams, but overall this has a better armor protection package than the 2K, though you lose the 20mm roof cannon. It's fast as fuck, for obvious reasons, but of course, as usual, Germany cannot into slow to armor, and they decided, fuck it, we got a box tank again. Box tank is best tank, though, because it makes things go boom, kaboom. Look at that. Then, all in honesty, this is definitely going to be a challenger at the high tiers. That 120mm gun. The thing is, no, the M1 Abrams, sure, it has the M1 Abrams only has 105. The Type 90 that we'll get to again in a little bit, and this thing, they both have the Rheinmetall smoothbore. Yeah, the Abrams is going to kind of become a bit obsolete, don't you think? And this heat round is also extremely stupid. It's just destroying people left and right. But obviously, let's see, our T-64A over here. Oh boy, it just destroyed the front plate of a T-64A. But of course,
if that's the heat round, I can imagine what the APDS and upgraded rounds do for it.
Yeah, let's do something a bit more interesting here. Let's see. Fire! I fired short. also has a pretty quick reload too. Is it an autoloader in this thing? Anybody know? No, it's not. Is it an autoloader?
Oh god,
Nope.
those T-64s, that just went straight through that bloody front plate.
Yep. And one more shot. It's dead. Yep, not even the
No
ERA
big
on the side of the
surprise.
tank stopped it. Oh boy. So yeah, the Leopard 2K, that's going to be absolutely a competitor. The Germans will have something, you know, honestly, even the 2A4 will be an absolute monster at high tiers in the midst of the Abrams spam. Like, you know, the Abrams spam is starting to get to a level of, like, you know, making fun of like the T-34 spam of real life during World War II. Just, you hear just Russian za everywhere.
Means of production.
Yep, means of production. So that's our 2A, that's the Leopard 2A4. You know, the brand new German high tier. Wehraboo's rejoice. Bundeswehr is now on the map. Now then, then of course there is another tank.
177.
Yeah,
Sorry,
or
but-
actually there's one more tank to go about, and where is it? Anybody know where it is? It's at the beginning of rank 1 in the addition, so on the extreme other end of Germany's BR rating, in the light tank destroyer line, or in the light tank destroyer line on the other end. We had this tiny little vehicle called the Sturzkampf, I don't know, STKFZ 221.
Gets APC, are you kidding?
Yeah, but it's basically...
As the,
oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? That's funny. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look at his head, man. It's essentially an armored car. It's
my god.
It's an armored car with a friggin' Solitherm on the roof. I think that's what Preston
Wait, can
said
the gun
earlier.
turn all the way around?
No,
Or is
he
it-
can.
Tank.
Also, he's kind of clipping, guys, and you might want to fix that. He's clipping through the side of the tank. Or a little bit, but, you know. So basically,
Just
it's an anti-tank rifle on top of an armored car. Ooh. Okay, it got through the side of a T-28. That's promising. Can it get through the side of a
Well, you are firing
T-34?
APCR.
Oh, it can go through the side of a T-34. I wonder what happens if I hit the ammo. Oh, I got the fuel tank.
Doesn't detonate.
Oh,
Ooh.
I set the vehicle on fire. Basically, you can poke people to death with this. That's funny.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna like this vehicle.
Yeah,
Me
that's
too.
a
I
funny-
liked the 75 Puma.
It's
This
fast.
is gonna be...
Oh, is it me, or did they change up how armored vehicles roll? Because this thing is moving fast as fuck, boy. Dude, that's moving quick. That's moving really fast for an armored vehicle. Did they change up how the armored cars and stuff drive? Because it seems like they got a transmission boost, which is honestly they need it because they don't. Some of the armored cars don't really roll the way they should. So let's see. So we
that's
killed
true.
the. Okay, and this is
You're
where...
on dirt road too. That's not even concrete.
Yeah, that's not even concrete. I was moving pretty quickly over dirt roads. Okay, so yeah, you can poke the sides of everything to death. That's funny.
I
You can't get.
want to see how many people are taking that into top tier trying to kill shit.
You could probably kill Abrams and stuff at top tier with that. Just start killing the gunner, then the driver. No, kill the turret crew.
I've killed Abrams with the 10-2
Wait.
H's PHE rounds.
Oh, that's funny. Detonated the ammo of a T-44 on the move. Even aiming. So, yeah, this is a fun little vehicle. So, yeah. So, this is... I don't know I didn't do that much research. So, this is basically what appears to be one of their standard armored cars for the Germans. Just equipped with an anti-tank. They modified the top so that a guy with an anti-tank rifle with a mantlet to protect against rifle caliber rounds could sit there and just start sniping tanks at distance. You know, usually tanks of pretty light armor Unless, you know, if it's a Matilda, then you have to call the 88 in for that.
Yeah, the history of that car is it's a recon, and they just kept modifying. They originally 42 or 34, and then had a 20mm flak gun on it, and then they started upgrading it with bigger and bigger guns because of their situation with Russia. I believe at some point it ended up with like a 50mm.
Yep, a 50mm, jeez. But yeah, so this is the new low-tier tank destroyer, the start of the German tank destroyer line. I just killed the KV-2 on the map, and we're just going to stop there because that's kind of interesting. Not as interesting. Now then, so with that out of the way, with the Germans out of the way, the new BF-110s, the
glorious BF-110s?
Yeah, the glorious BF-110s, the 2A4. Oh, for fuck's sake, are we going to do this every other time I go into a... boy, I think the game is bugged, guys. The dev server is a bit bugged because I now have 26 million golden lions or golden eagles. What?
Don't question it.
I am rich. I am rich. I will never have to buy anything again. No.
I'm rich, bitch.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, but
did the
again,
get any new bombs?
Just to clarify for anybody who just joined the stream, so content creators have a new thing where they get money and all the new vehicles unlocked, so we can all check it out. But it appears to be slightly bugged because we keep getting the new vehicles over and over again, and golden eagles over and over again. But hey, it's the dev server. None of this money transfers over to the real server, so you know.
Oh, if only, JonMan,
Sadly.
you would be fucking rolling in it.
I'd be rolling in it. I could just sell these golden eagles off my account. Okay,
you just
so...
sell the account.
Yeah, so moving on to the glorious USSR. Let's see. They do get a new plane. Why did I go Russian all of a sudden? Maybe if we say... No, now maybe if we say Gopnik, the Gopnik God, 3 times in a row, he will appear in the server. Gopnik God, Gopnik God, Gopnik God. Somebody type Gop.
Magic.
Meanwhile, with my crappy Russian accent there out of the way, we have a new aircraft to look at, and it is the IL-28SH. SH. What the bloody hell does SH mean? SH mean it carries even more booms. And cannons, apparently. Jesus Christ, it carries gun pods. Oh no, it carries gun pods.
What gun pods?
So let's see. New armament for the... This is basically the ground attack variant of the IL-28. It comes with gun pods. Let's see. Process purchase. Okay, good. I can actually buy shit for this aircraft. We'll just go for all the armament because who cares about the performance? We are more interested in the booms and rockets here.
Huh.
The KV-2, the KV-2 killer, that thing that could kill a KV-2 after you poke it to death a million times, that was a 1.3 BR. It's a researchable reserve tier vehicle. Let's see if I can get to the next tier of Stoof. Here, we're just more interested about the... Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's buy all of the stuff because gotta use this. You know, gotta use this Gaijin money for something. So get that shit out of the way. This is disgusting. This is the kind of shit that people get riled up over. It's just people golding through the shit. But this is a dev server. None of this money transfers over. If it did, yeah, I would be rolling in it. So let us check out some of the new armament and stuff here. So you can carry the standard loadout of a Fab bombs. You can carry the Fab 3000. But the more interesting one is, oh geez, it carries 2 additional gun pods under the wings in the inner wing ports, so you could basically go around, you could just basically be a fighter. Oh god, so the revenge of the IL-28, it goes after R2-Y2s with what is that, 1 2 3 4 5 6 23mm cannons and a head-on. Oh no. Oh no. That's funny.
That's interesting because that thing only has default defensive belts.
Yep. On the other hand, it also carries 4, 1 2 3 4 5 6 tiny Ivans. Oh, geez, that's gonna hurt. And how many? And oh, Jesus Christ, those rocket pods. How many of those are on there? 192 rockets.
Oh dear God.
192. And the rockets are capable of penetrating up to, at a practical distance, anywhere from 150 to 74. So they're basically heat rockets.
So if you think the Italians had a lot of rockets,
They,
oh boy!
The FJ4
But just
can carry 114.
the thing is, if I have it correctly set up, I usually have the buttons set. I have 5 to open gun bays and 6 for series drops, aka just spam everything. Also, they did note that the rear turret is not does not work currently. Is disabled for some reason in the IL-28 SH. They disabled it, but they're supposed to be fixing it for the real server. That's noted in the patch notes, which is again located in the description below for the YouTube guys. You should be able to find it. War Thunder Dev Server 1.79 patch notes. Again, a work in progress, so we will see what happens. But yeah, so this is the IL-28 with its 192 rocket loadout. Rockets basically everywhere. Let's get this sucker off the ground. Doesn't it also get rocket boosters? Oh no, that's only the T-14.
Wait, did you take gun?
No bombs. Okay, so
does the thing actually have guns?
Boom, 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 boom.
That thing has guns in the front of it. What the fuck? Oh dear God! That
is a bit cancerous. If you thought the IL-28 was cancerous, well, the SH model, even more cancer.
Take that into tank battles and just try to rocket tanks.
Yeah. Hey, maybe I want to save that for the end of the stream, guys. I don't know. I want to get through. I want to structure this so that we get through all the vehicles and we'll talk about some of the new secret features and stuff. But I guess so. The name of the patch is called Fritz X. Besides the fact that jokingly inserts all the XM models here, joke. But then it's also the matter of the fact that this patch will be the first patch available to all the Xbox One and Xbox One X players. So, but also let's clarify something. Microsoft was absolutely open to cross-platform play with the PS4, but then of course Sony, with their fucking thumbs up their asses, said no. Sadly. So of course, as usual, it's always one person who wants to block off the possibility of multi-platform play. And the PE2 in here, PE3 is bugging out because it's missing one of its leading edge flaps. Well, okay, that's just a bug. But dev server once again. So let's move on to the tanks for the USSR. The tanks, they do get 2 tanks, one brand new one and a modification for an existing one. So at the top tiers of the medium tank line for the USSR, we got the brand new T64M1. So the T62M, T62M1, which is a T62 with what appears to be additional spaced armor around the front of the turret. So it comes with, that's an armor package right there. So it comes with an armor package front plate, kinetic energy munitions. It protects very well against kinetic energy munitions up to 320 millimeters and 450 millimeters against chemical. On the turret is capable of protecting against the same amount, except for the upper part of the turret, which can only protect against 320 millimeters from kinetic. There is no armor around the breach, so that's a pretty easy shot to get knocked out. Everybody's compressing the turret. However, unlike the unlike the T-64s, you can't. You'll get a one shot possibly from killing all the crew members, but you can't really blow up the tank like a T-64 because all the ammo is behind the crew, except for like 2 ready shells that are right up with the crew members and the turrets. The question is, with that armor on the turret, is that in addition to the I guess in addition to, by the way, I think it's the question I guess I'm going to pose is yeah, so in addition to the composite armor, yeah, the composite armor is part of the front plate, but there also are parts around. This might be an issue later, in my opinion. I can kind of see an issue with the tank, just probably when in play, that there could be some trolling involved if you hit parts of the front plate that are not the composite. Will the entire front plate act like the composite, or actually act like homogeneous and you get killed? We'll have to see. We'll have to see, but for now, let's go check out the ammo complement. So the ammo complement here, I kind of need to keep doing this. How I can get in the dev server, you bought the XM1. Okay, so you have to download the dev server client. It should be, look in the preliminary notes that's in the thread linked below in the description. There should be somewhere in that forum where you can download the client. And the client itself, make sure you download it to a separate folder from your normal War Thunder client, or you'll fuck things up. So
isn't it like the same size as the regular game?
Yeah, though of course it's bigger because it has all the new stuff. Remember,
so it's like 30 something gigs plus.
Yep. So let's see. I'm gonna try to purchase just the parts that I need so I can unlock all the ammunition here, so we can try it out.
It's FP rounds.
Yep. So, okay. So the T-64 M1 has the 150 millimeter U5TS gun, and it has the standard dart, which can penetrate up to at 500 meters on flat armor. 355. It comes with another dart that has 400 meters even, or 400 millimeters even of armor penetration on a flat surface at 500 meters. And of course, it comes with a 550 millimeter penetrating anti-tank guided missile as well. So let's take this sucker out.
So it comes with an armor package.
Yeah, it comes with an armor package. So let's test it out here. Let's see, 50 viewers. Oh boy, all of you new viewers. Why is the A4 9.7 but this medium tank at 9.0? That's because the thing is, the A4 is rightfully so at 9.7 simply because it is a faster tank. It comes with a Rheinmetall 120 millimeter gun, and it has better overall protection for the crew. It has higher survivability. Russian tanks are not known for their survivability, honestly. We saw evidence of that.
This thing has to get a down tier every so often.
Yeah, this thing has to get a down tier because, sure, the armor package is good, but again, lower front plate, to kill one of these tanks from the front, lower front plate, or around the mantlet. We just lost Gaddafi, rip, the guy on my server here. Okay, so that's the dart. The new dart is pretty punishing. Let's go for a target
Fair,
like
that was just a Leopard 1.
Yeah, that was a Leopard 1. But let's get the MBT-70 here at the distance. Yep, it can just go right through the front end of MBT-70. The question is, can I get through the front of an Abrams? If you aim well. Okay, so the... Also, the cannon sounds seem to be improved a little bit, or at least from my point of view. Also, it seems like they made the idling engine sound louder, which is nice. Like the engine idling sound.
It does sound a bit nicer.
Yep. Also, I've noticed that it's like there's a certain report. Like from the back of the tank, it's relatively quiet because, you know, when you fire a gun, all the explosion sound goes forward, not backwards. So from the front of the tank, the muzzle. Whew. That's loud. Yeah, so... Yeah, this is going to be basically a modernized T-62 that's more capable of at least surviving 1 or 2 shots from a, you know... How do you get Golden Eagles added to your dev account? That's only really for content creators. Any Golden Eagles that you purchase during the patch, whenever this version of the dev server came up, will be available in your account. But for us content creators, we are now given basically near infinite supply of Golden Eagles and all the new vehicles, so that we as content creators on the dev server can show you all the new stuff. Also, by the way, my throat is running dry, and we're about an hour and 20 minutes in.
It's only been an hour?
Yeah. Oh boy, this server's gonna run for a bit. Do like just a stand up and stretch here, because, you know, hour sitting down is not fun.
How long does the servers normally go for?
It's probably, I think it's gonna be open through the weekend, so there's that. So I might as well enjoy being on the server and actually trying out top tier vehicles, Kappa. So, and other than that, the T-64B gets a modification. Let's just cheese our way through this. So let's see how many Golden Eagles I can blow going to top tier. Also,
25.99. I'll count. See how much gold you blow.
This is why. This is the type of thing that just makes people cringe what I'm doing right now, but obviously, again, if I had this on my normal account, I'd be done playing the game in like a day. But I would still keep playing the game because it's fun. But for the matter of fact, I'm just making sure I can actually purchase the vehicles as I kind of cheese through here so I can show you guys the improved armor for the T-64B. Clearly, you can see that I haven't gotten very far in the actual tech tree for heavy tanks. No, we're not going for that. I want to go for what other vehicle? How many vehicles I have to purchase? Jesus Christ! I have to purchase one more vehicle. Okay, ZSU 100, whatever the fuck you. Just get through that. Done. Use mission editor. Thing is, it could take 1,000,000 years for me to get to the mission editor, so purchase that. Hey, tier 6 is unlocked now, so we could just cheese our way. This is literally cheese. I think I just blew through about 25,000 or so just now.
Yeah, so, you haven't actually dropped. You actually haven't dropped. You've actually gained Golden Eagles.
Yeah, I know. But that's because the server is bugged and it kept giving me the package of Golden Eagles over and over again for some dumb reason. So, okay.
No, I'm watching you buy this stuff. You're actually not spending any gold.
What?
You're not spending any gold. I've been watching it. It's gone up and now it's like slightly going down. Yeah, it's just dropped by like 3,000. What the fuck?
Jesus. Yep, so, ladies and gentlemen, we just cheesed our way. Something I was not able to do on my previous dev stream stuff. I was able to cheese my way completely all the way through to the top of the tree. Now we're looking at the T-64B, and we will now look at its add-on package, which I have to, once again, the minutia here. I guess while I'm doing this, if I log same account, all your stuff is gone. The dev server does not necessarily carry over with everything that you have as of currently on the normal server. That's because the dev server, whenever they update to a new patch to test out, such as this, it's always going to be a snapshot of the server at some random time that they had saved a copy of the server.
So they could go months back from when you start.
Theoretically. Meanwhile, the entire chat is just dying of cringe and cancer as I nearly spay the entire vehicle just to show you this brand new armor package, the T-64BV, not named for the guy who does ground forces development at War Thunder, though the joke goes that because it's named for him, this vehicle must be completely, utterly indestructible. Okay, so The brand new.
Dear God, what is that armor package?
So this is the new BV armor package with explosive kinetic armor. This is Contact 1 armor. It has an additional 370 millimeters of chemical munitions protection on top of the already 500 millimeters that the spaced armor on the BV, on the B model's turret and sides. And same thing on the sides as well. So that means anybody trying to pen this vehicle from the side with a heat round or something, it's just going to blow off the ERA. You are not going to get through the side of the armor the first try with this contact on it. So yeah, so your BV is now basically nigh invincible to heat rounds on the first shot. But just as usual though, you will be able to kind of maybe snipe your way through the underside of the BV, the B's turret. The lower plate has slightly more protection thanks to that ammo or spaced armor overall. So that's a pretty menacing thing to look at. Yep. How do you have all your stuff? I have whatever I have on the dev server right now is what I have in the actual server, but then I'm buying stuff that will not carry back over to the live server, nor when they actually update the live server. Niggle. You know how close that word, your username is to a certain bad word I don't really want to say? I gotta point that out. Sorry. Doesn't it Life of Boris get a ton of shit GEs? Life of Boris and by extension Russian Badger both had press accounts. Actually, Russian Badger was very honest about the fact that he had a press account which had a butt ton of golden eagles on it. Press accounts they used to just give out the press accounts to some YouTubers, but then they literally took them away and then only give the actual press accounts out to, you know, big name YouTubers who they sponsor to do video content like Life of Boris and Russian Badger. Then now, how do I not have my stuff? It's again, this is the dev server. This is not the real server. You'll keep all your stuff. That's just the way the dev server runs. I have no control over it, man. Sorry.
Come on, dude. Is it that hard to understand? You've basically created a new account on a new War Thunder. But you don't get to keep any of this stuff. Pretty much.
Excuse me, what the hell ricochet was that? Excuse me, off the top upper front plate of a fucking Chieftain Mark 10. Die, you stupid bastard. Wait, hold up. Anybody heard that?
That ricochet. That should not have ricocheted.
So they added, looks like they added some new reloading sounds as well. There's the sound of an autoloader inside the turret. That's really cool. Oh boy, this is what top tier Russia feels like. It feels indestructible. Da. Ooh. This feels like a pretty good tank, and this honestly looks menacing as a tank. This now looks, the T-64Bs, yeah, they are now more than probably capable of actually standing up to heat rounds and stuff coming at you.
Still gets killed by Sturmpanzer.
Yeah, the autoloader, I don't know if I've never played this tank before. You know, being somebody who hasn't gone to top tiers, I don't know if the sounds are new or anything, but that's something to hear, is that sound of an autoloader in the turret. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So moving on and away from that armor package, I think that's all Russia has to offer, and we are now almost an hour and a half into this, and we haven't even gotten to the other nations yet. Jesus.
Britain didn't get anything, did they? Other than 2 tanks? Or 1 tank?
Let's see. Now we shall move on. I don't care about the SB2C, you stupid game. Okay, now on to Great Britain. Aircraft. Jack all.
They didn't get anything, did they?
Yep, Jack all. they don't get jack. They get jack shit for aircraft.
To be fair, they've already got a good enough air tree.
Yep. So, meanwhile, let's look at our tanks. So, our first tank we're going to look at is this brand new shiny tank for Tier 5 Britain called the Centurion Mark V AVRE, the Armored Vehicle Royal Engineers. And apparently somewhere there was some mention about heat shells, or HESH shells. In
apparently they did something to HESH shells.
Let's see, I'm looking up because so 120 millimeter HESH. There's
that
3 mentions.
Screen of
the values for for the important thing to mention for HESH. So the values of the slope effect for HESH shells have been revised and refined. Now the efficiency of these shells increases with the hit angle and reaches a maximum value at an angle of 60 degrees, according to the patch notes. If you want to follow along with the patch notes, please check out the link in the YouTube description, or go find it yourself if you're on Twitch. Sorry. So, and the 120 millimeter L31 HESH round, the weight of the explosive match has been changed from 3.1 kilogram to 4.1 kilogram. So, there's that. So, now we are looking at our very first engineering vehicle in War Thunder. Unfortunately, I can't make the plow go up and down. Gaishin, please. Can you guys change the controls so that use the controls for the hydrodynamic suspension? Can you make it so that we can move the plow up and down and like dig shit into the ground? Can we like dig a trench for our friendly tanks with this thing?
I wonder how effective.
So, and of course, this thing is equipped with the 165 millimeter, basically, demolition gun. This is meant to destroy shit. And it also it's a bunker buster gun, and apparently has the lowest velocity shell in the game so far at about 100 and something millimeters. And I need to actually set controls for the gun sights. Hold up. Forgot to set the controls for the gun sights. Apparently it's not there. Sights. Where's the controls for what is this? Sight distance control. Here we go. So increase value, page up, add, and then decrease value, page down, add. Okay. I don't give a damn. Okay, so I did something dumb. Hold up, we did something dumb. Fuck it, we're just gonna try to wing it here. Yeah, so let's not do that again. I completely fucked up. So basically, this is a Centurion Mark V with a whole hell of a lot of ERA, a giant ass plow, and a demolition gun, which fires a 21 kilogram equivalent TNT charge. And apparently, there was an incident in the Gulf that remains classified to this day that had 2 of these things blow themselves up the Kingdom Come. It was a giant spectacular explosion. Probably a bunch of people got hurt. Maybe some people died.
Well,
oh boy.
If one of these explodes, definitely someone got hurt.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, so the Centurion Mark V equipped with this demolition charge. We just I just blew this what is it, this IT-1, the Kingdom Come. You're about to see that. I wasn't even really aiming. But the only terrible downside of this vehicle is the fact that its gun sight, 400 meters. Oh my god. Jeez, you have to really aim.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be good with the Ho-Ro broom.
Yep.
Just Panzer to use this thing.
Yep, so let's see if we can actually hit something like the T-64, say T-62 over here. If this thing would hurry up and reload. You fuckers, reload.
You are firing.
Nuked. It nukes. It nukes fools. Okay, let's just let's get to the point here. Can this tank nuke a T-64B? I guess while we make our way to this T64B over there, let's take in some questions, either about the channel or anything in the game so far. Let me check and roll through the questions while we roll forward. So let's see. Can you check if the Challenger's armor has changed? Yep, we're going to get to the Challenger and the Super Challenger in just a moment. So if I pre-ordered something, can I play that thing in the dev server? Yes, you can. If you pre-ordered a vehicle, unless it's, you know, the destroyers or the boots, which will be something that'll come after the patch a little bit later, yeah, you'll be able to try out the vehicles on the dev server. And we were going over it earlier, so the XM1 Abrams short is slightly more maneuverable than the standard Abrams, but you lose basically all of the crew protection that the M1 Abrams has, and you get the M60 gun, not the gun from the M60s with the APDS FS round, but you don't get the M68A1 that's on the actual M1 Abrams. So it's honestly, it's going to be a lot easier to kill by most other tanks in the game. So T64B, prepare to meet your doom. Oh boy. Well, guess what, boys? Hesh is working again.
Oh no. Oh no. No.
Start playing Rue Britannia, rule the waves and the land.
I can see that thing actually being quite like a glorious meme, because you got that bloody
chode gun.
Dig a
ton, dig a ton, dig a ton, dig a ton, dig a ton, dig a ton, quick before the pumas come.
Before the pumas come, what? Okay.
Well, it can't be hyenas. There's no hyenas in the game, or a vehicle named the hyena. Yep. So this is the Centurion. Yep, it has a nuke shell. It will nuke a top tier T64B if you can hit it, because dear lord, you have to aim like a motherfucker to hit anything. We're not gonna let you load the rest of that, but we're gonna do you think the L55 will come? You mean the 120mm Rheinmetall? I don't know.
One day.
One day. The Fritz X true rumors are true. We will get to the Fritz X, guys. I want to get through all the vehicles first, so that people who want to watch this later, they will get to see all the vehicles. Then we'll talk about all the other minutiae later. So after the Centurion Mark V on the list, and I did mention this earlier, Britain does not get any new aircrafts this patch. Lament the RAF, unfortunately.
To be fair, they already have enough Spitfires.
Yep. On the other hand, we also get this brand new shiny AA vehicle that finally something that isn't the fucking Falcon for the something that is not the Falcon AA. Something a lot better than that, and also a little bit less
it's
of my
just a British
shitty alcohol. Yep. We have the say hello to this giant fucking moving siege tower of the air known as the Centurion or the Chieftain Marksman.
I wonder if that thing's got whole break.
So, this is the Chieftain Marksman. It says hello. Up. Okay, though it doesn't have a continuous magazine like other ones. Seemingly.
Wait,
or at
it's
least
only got 40. Oh, that's 400 rounds. I was like, what? Only 40 rounds?
I think I jammed one of the guns. Whoops.
Oh, what the hell? It's only got 40 rounds and 2 magazines. What? Oh,
and I jammed one of the guns.
Into 400.
Yep, that's weird. But yeah, so basically this is now the top tier AA. It's kind of ridiculous looking. I thought the Type 87 looked ridiculous. This thing looks retarded. But rejoice for Britain's top tier anti-air. You guys now have something that can actually kill shit. And is radar guided. Like that. There we go. That's a kill.
Never seen the Falcon. It was time to replace the Falcon.
Yep. So we got that. That's not really... There isn't really much minutia that we can get into that. How do I get convertible XP fast? If you have the Golden Eagles to get it. That whatever Golden Eagles were on your account that you purchased, that you spent, it usually appears in the account, but otherwise you can't... Don't try to buy any Golden Eagles on the dev server. It will not transfer over to your real account. At least that's what I know. Just don't try the system, please. Also, by the way, since we're talking about HESH shells, how the XM1. Unless, for how-to guides, I don't do tank guides. I always do aircraft guides. If you guys want all you tankers out there, go check out Many Miles Away and his Super Unicorn reviews. He is the tank guy, and he is much more knowledgeable about ground vehicles than I ever will be. My stream is a basic, let's just get through all the vehicles, because some of you guys don't care for the frivolity, details. You just want to see what these vehicles look like, how they sound, what they look like, so on and so forth. I know some of you guys want to just see the vehicles, not just like talk about them for a million years. So
let's see what the bond does against tanks now.
Yep. So theoretically, it says like against angled armor, it becomes more severe, or the impact.
Panther.
So, yeah, let's aim for the Panther, because we all know we can destroy the Panther 4, or the Panzer 4. So, how is the XM1? The XM1 is a faster tank than the M1 Abrams, but you lose, I've said this a few times, it loses all of the cruise survivability, and you only get the gun you have the same gun that's on the M60s. So, everything that was good about the M1 is kind of gone, and all you're left with is a fast tank. Yeah, that's basically it.
It's just a bigger RU.
Yep. Okay, so, nuked that Panther in one go. But the question is actually more of, like, facing stuff like, let's say, a Tiger, point blank, a Tiger H. Oh, man, this tank is so fucking slow. Yeah, but so you know what? We'll just get moving, because I don't want to spend this much time testing stuff. Not in that mood today, unfortunately. But yeah, so
understandable.
Yeah, so the HESH shells have been improved so that they actually have better performance overall. Now we've already talked about the AVRE, the Chieftain Marksman. Let's go talk about the Conqueror, which I'm just gonna dirtily purchase very quickly here.
Hopefully HESH isn't as good as it used to be, where it was just god levels.
We'll see in a moment, like, especially with the Conqueror. Let's go check out what the Conqueror looks like. So, we all know the Conqueror has been in the tree, but recently in this patch, it gets a brand new, it gets an armor package that makes it the Super Conqueror. Very creative name from the British, obviously.
Well, the British were never really creative, were they?
Well, they came up with a lot, like, we got the name P-51 Mustang from them, and P-38 Lightning was also from the British, but then, of course, the British ordered shitty engines that turned in the same direction on their P-38s. They got them, were not happy with them because of the modifications they asked for, and then thus called them the castrated Lightnings, and sent them all back to the US. God damn it, Britain. So, let's look at the Super Conqueror. So, the Super Conqueror just basically gets a whole bunch of spaced armor on the front of the turret. Let's actually check what it says about the modifications here. So, Super Conqueror armor pack. We'll get to the Italians in a little bit. Here, so you get an additional armor pack on the front here, so 20 millimeters thickness around the front. You get additional 20 millimeters, which is effective 30 millimeters on the front of the turret. The additional 30 millimeters on the front. I don't know if that's so. The front plate is 130, and the mantlet itself can be anywhere from 118 to 300 in some spots. Let's see what it looks like without the armor package for a moment here. And then so 130. So basically all you're getting is a spaced armor package for the Conqueror. But meanwhile, so that's basically it. And then Britain is also getting a low tier AA vehicle for some reason. The Vickers, what is this? This is the Mark 6A Vickers AA vehicle. What about the Super Saber? There is no Super Saber in the game. That was a custom mission. However, there is the FJ4B Fury, the navalized Saber tank. Oh, or Saber tank. Why did I say Saber tank? Saber jet, the navalized Saber. I talked about. We looked at that in some detail earlier in the stream. So if you want to check out a lot of these vehicles. We've already gone all over the US, we've gone all over Germany's vehicles. If you want to check out those vehicles, you might want to go back in the stream or wait until the stream's over and go check back on it. I try to structure the stream so that people who watch this later, they can just skip around and go check out all the new stuff. Of course, this is the tiny Vickers light tank that's been configured to be a AA vehicle with the pulsing gun. Oh my god, this thing is tiny as all hell. Look at the size of this thing compared to, you know, our good friend. It's about this. It's actually small, slightly smaller than a Panzer II, and yet it looks ancient next to a Panzer II.
Yeah, pretty good low tier AA.
It can't pen the side of a Panther II. Needs buff.
Needs its APDS prep.
Yeah. So that's basically the low tier of Britain. So all in all, Britain only gets tanks dispatched. They do not get any aircraft. Gabriel Sloan, again, we've just been go back earlier in the stream if you want to hear about the XM1 and my little rant about stuff with the XM1 and so on and so forth. I can't be going back and saying the same stuff over and over again. So, moving on to Japan. For aircraft, they do get one aircraft. We will show it off because, you know, it's only fair that I look at everything at the same time here. So, they do get a new aircraft. It is the KI-32. It's just a light bomber. Super Saver versus Super Conqueror. That will never happen. At least for now. So this is the KI-32. This is a light bomber apparently used by basically everyone that got their hands on it. From the Japanese to the Chinese to the Indonesians. Yeah. So this is just a low tier light bomber comparable to something like the Stuka to a point. The question is, it has fixed landing gear from what it looks like it. As soon as I get this up in the air. Yep, this is just fixed landing gear. It comes with a small bomb load of 9 bombs. So it has 4 outboard and 5 inboard. So it's a basic low-tier Japanese bomber.
Those are the 60 kilograms. You can do a lot of damage with them.
So 2 of those, and it has 1 MG facing forward. It's a pretty benign aircraft for what it is, being a single engine aircraft. I think it has like the same, it looks like it has the same engine as like the KI-10s, except it's a bomber and it's a, oh, I turned off the engine. Oops. There we go.
Ooh, the 7.7
Yeah.
The
oh,
Japanese
the British came up with, whoever said that. The US just used the numerical system, and honestly, oh man, US, that'll be a video one of these days I'll do, is when I am planning to do after this patch comes out, I'm going to do a video on a newbie's guide to aircraft in War Thunder. And then, of course, Miles already did a guide on tanks, though that guide probably needs to be updated, in my opinion, at some point. But I'm going to be doing an aircraft guide for noobs, for aircraft to help new players, you know, check out what each nation has to offer, so on and so forth. So, we're just gonna jingles the sucker here. Okay, that's not Jingles Landing. That's called, you fucked it up. Tetsuo, you fucked up. Okay. So, moving on with life. So, the Type 32, small light bomber. That's not as impressive. However, we have the tank. We did preview this tank earlier, and as I said a little bit earlier in the stream, this is the low-key meta of War Thunder. What will become the low-key meta. The tank of metas. This is the Type 90. Curious, it kind of looks like a certain tank we already looked at. And you would be right. This is basically a miniature Leopard 2A4. There's a picture floating around somewhere on my Discord, and it shows off the size of the Type 90 versus a 2A4.
And yeah, there's the Abrams and another tank with that.
Yeah, this thing is smaller than an Abrams and much smaller than a Leopard 2A4. Its armor package is pretty good, but it doesn't have the same kind of surround armor package that the Leopard has. It's mainly frontal. It can protect up to 600 millimeters of armor overall on both sides and 200 millimeters in the center. So it has slightly weaker than the 2A4's frontal armor. It doesn't have any armor protecting the lower plate, kind of like a Russian tank. So upper front plate 360 millimeters, 600 millimeters, lower plate 180, 200 millimeters, so on and so forth. Blowout panels, just like there's the one thing about this patch is that there can be multiple tanks with blowout panels, but there is a change to how ammunition fires occur in tanks according to the patch notes. So blowout panels have a new fire mechanic. The fire cannot be put out with FPE if the ammo is on fire. The fire will go out after the propellant charges burn out, anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. However, the fire may start in other parts of the vehicle. If the armored protection of the ammo load is hit, it won't be able to protect the crew from the fire and the vehicle will be lost. So if for some reason if you get a shell that penetrates through and destroys the armored plates here, if this is compromised, your crew is compromised. If it's only the ammo will burn out, but there's a high chance that it will cause the rest of your tank to be set on fire. With that in mind, Tay777, hello from New Zealand. Yep, hello to you as well.
Local
we have
boy.
Yep. And of course, this tank does have an auto-loader system. Yes, this is an auto-loading 120mm Rheinmetall smoothbore in a much smaller package than the Leopard, and it's just as fast as an M1A1. No, M1 Abrams. Actually, that's not a tank that's in this patch, the M1A1. Probably for good reason. But it's probably also to just the fact that let the Type 90 and the Leopard 2A4 and the Type T62M have their day. Yeah, I could see the Abrams definitely in this patch has some serious competition incoming. And we haven't even gotten to the French yet. Because, oh joy, the French actually have tanks.
So, I see you talking about the Type 90, huh?
Yeah, Type 90. Look at this thing, it fucking nukes people. Nuclear explosion. Actually, wait, I keep forgetting to look at the friggin' ammo. Hold up. Because I've been doing it for all the other tanks, I need to actually look at the friggin' ammo. Hello, user from Israel, because your name is in Hebrew? I don't know how to say it. Actually, my sister's girlfriend happens to be Jewish. But, you know. However, so DM33, it comes with a... Oh, boy. DM33 shell comes with 500 meters practical on flat armor, 520 millimeters of penetration. Oh boy. A lot of oof. And it's first tier, by the way. This ammo is the very first tier on this tank. So fuck parts. Go for the improved APDS round. Otherwise, you're only stuck with the heat shell, which the heat shell is not bad. It penetrates 650 millimeters. Ouch, that hurts a lot.
This is what you mean to tell me is that the weeaboos are going to be very strong in this patch.
Yeah, they're gonna make the Emperor has come back, and he has come to shame all of you.
For the Emperor?
For the Emperor. Oh, for the Emperor. Yep. So yeah, by the way, again, everybody who is panicking about the XM1, the GM model XM1 is only in Abrams, and it's better than the Abrams in maneuverability. However, it sucks at everything else. So don't worry about it. You focus on the actual problem that is the actual M1 Abrams. This thing, however, well, first let's launch a heat shell at the front of that thing. Obviously, it ate the heat shell because it has Blazer. But I have a needle now. Fire. Oh boy, that went right through the front of a T-64B. Rejoice, soldiers of the Empire. We now have tank to take on filthy capitalists in the imperialist. Oh, very honorable. Look at the 50 caliber gun we totally did not steal from the Americans. Look at this, powerful. Boom! It make everyone explode. Filthy communist fucks over there. All of you will die.
Did you see the effect of when the shell hit the IT-1? It like sparked like lightning or something for some reason.
Oh, that's new. Yeah, I just checked that out just now. So, yep. Type 90, low key friggin' meta confirmed. This is honestly going to be the meta tank. A tank that is very fast on the flanks, has better armor protection than the XM1, at least the GM model, and the auto-loading 120mm gun. Seriously, let's reiterate. This is not just Sir Bias. This is
what is Russian bias?
No, this is not the French Sir Bias with the auto-loading, oscillating turret heavy tank of doom. This is a auto-loading Rheinmetall 120mm cannon with a very, very nasty dart to deal with. T-64 drivers, you're gonna, if you see one of these things looking at you and you're not aimed onto it, bend over, put your face into your ass cheeks, and kiss your ass goodbye. While this stupid T-64A ricochets the shell up into the gun mantlet. Fuck you. Stupid bastard.
RNG just said no.
Yeah, exactly. And Mr. Maple Bacon 071, greetings from Canada. Hello. You guys have great MREs, or IMPs, actually. It makes me as an American jealous, quite frankly. They even have a Facebook page for some reason. And there's like a QR code literally on the back of those IMPs that say, check us out on Facebook. It even comes with a little sheet of paper that's like, how was your meal? As in Canadian military rations. It brings a smile to my face. Yes, I do love watching Steve MRE info. Actually only live like 45 minutes away from him because he's in like Lakeland. I live in Tampa. So, Yes, I do live in Florida. So yeah, Type 90, the new, I honestly, probably my favorite tank of this patch, just for the sheer fact that this thing is going to be hilarious. And it is 9.7, rightfully so. Now then.
Yeah, this thing just shot through a T-60.
And good question, Lizek Baron. We are now going straight to the fucking Italians, and now actually one of the aircraft I'm pretty excited about. Say hello to the Romanian IAR-81C. Yes, a Romanian aircraft in the Italian tree, because seriously, the Germans have way too many premium aircraft, so all of you really, really annoying weeaboos who say, oh, it should be in the German tree. Shut up, the Italians need more. So this is a Romanian fighter aircraft designed by Romania, in Romania, and was their one of their primary fighters, even though that they did get aircraft from the Germans. Obviously, we've seen that in the other tree. But of course, this is a domestic aircraft, one of the last aircraft of the series, and it was equipped with 2 MG-151s and 2 7.62 Browning machine guns in the outer pair. So it's kind of weird. Romania is that kind of weird country that gets both German and, you know, other countries stuff together. Please show the Leopard. Again, gonna reiterate, we've already looked at the Leopard. If you want to check out what the Leopard or anything, you might want to go back farther in the stream or wait until I'm done with the stream, and then you could just skip around and look for the segment where we looked at the Leopard. Moving on, though, for all you Romanian viewers out there, if there are any of you out there, let's go look at it, shall we? So, apparently, the Italians decided they wanted to go look at one of these brand new Romanian fighters, so they imported one to Sicily. A nice sunny Sicily on a good morning. Look, it's good morning, everyone. We get to go look at this Romanian aircraft. I don't know why I always default to a friggin' Russian accent. Did the British or Russian lines get anything? If you want to check out what's in the dev server, what is it? If you don't have the dev server downloaded, go check out the link in the YouTube stream. There is a link to the dev server preliminary notes. Remember, this is the dev server, so all values that you saw in the dev server today are subject to change, and or any glaring bugs that you see are subject to be fixed and annihilated by the Gaishin Banhammer and or Gaizilla. Praise Gaizilla. So this is the IAR 80, please, or 81C. God, I just keep forgetting stuff, even when I'm not looking at the notes. So,
looks like
this
an LA5.
kind of looks like an LA5. It's actually basically from what I've read. So what I've read, the Romanians took the basic outline of the Polish parasol wing fighter. It's like the PZ something, and they just basically made a mono-wing version of the aircraft instead. But of course, with a lengthened fuselage and stuff to hold the new engine, over time they had 13mm machine guns at one point, but they decided the 13mm were not enough for against like American and British heavily armored bombers and or fighters. This aircraft, I don't know if it was this specific variant. This aircraft was actually involved in it was an aggressor aircraft whenever the Allies tried to bomb the Romanian oil fields. These aircraft were present during those battles, and they were, if I remember reading correctly, they were a difficult aircraft to trifle with. Allied pilots did have some difficulties fighting the IARs. Though this thing, it feels pretty good. It's a pretty stable feeling aircraft. It feels pretty maneuverable, one thing's for sure. You know, it's not as maneuverable as could be, maybe. Has a pretty decent roll rate. It feels very similar to that of a Spitfire. Honestly, this kind
Looks
of...
like it's got a...
I don't know if this is a
underneath
placeholder. Oh, that's like the I think that's like a radiator, something for the radiator, and there's also a bomb carriage as well. This thing is capable of carrying bombs, so for when the so if you need an Italian like strike fighter for your P-40, buy this thing. It'll be very good for later on when the Italians do get their tanks, which could possibly be either the next patch. No promises, this is really early, I'm just guessing, maybe the next patch, or maybe the patch around Christmas, because Gaishin usually has a tradition of releasing new tank trees around Christmas, like they did with the Americans, the British, and the British and the Japanese were released around Christmas time and New Year's whenever it came out. So yeah, so this is the IAR 80. It is a brand new Tier 2 Premium created by Nova over at War Thunder Live. Yep, this is a user-created vehicle. Man, Nova, you did an absolutely beautiful job on this thing. Let's see. Oh man, even the cockpit. Yeah, so everyone go find Nova on War Thunder Live and give him a big shout out. This is a beautiful aircraft. Great service and justice to the Romanians out there watching the stream, or any of my Romanian viewers if you guys exist. Hopefully one of you can make a shout out somewhere, but yeah, this is a beautiful aircraft. I gotta say that. This is beautiful aircraft. So, moving on from that, we got the other aircraft that the Italians do get is the Regane 2000 GA, which is, I think, a worse model of the. It's basically a 2.3, so I think it's a slower-ish version of it's a slightly worse version of the
P-43.
No, actually it's better than the P-43, honestly, because those Italian 50 cals hurt. But this aircraft itself is the long-range variant. I think it's not anything surprising. I don't really think I'm going to test it out. I think it's just basically it's a long-range version. Yeah.
It looks like a boomerang.
Kind of, though it's not a boomerang. It's very much based off of Savesky aircraft designs, which is the predecessor to like Republic Aviation. But we're not going to fly that thing out. It's basically another RE aircraft, and it's a bit slower because it's the long-range variant, according to my research.
It's the three planes.
Yes. Yep. And now we move on to the French. Finally, we are at the French. And we'll check out the Air Force in a moment, because rejoice, French tankers! There is an actual new French tank, and its name is AMX-40. Yep, surprise, motherfuckers! The AMX-40 is in the game. This was the history that I do know about the AMX-40. The AMX-40 was France's attempt to make a more modern MBT for the export market. Unfortunately, it never really got beyond they built a couple of them, tested them out, but they never got anybody interested in sales, so the tank ended up just not going anywhere. So this is France's top-end MBT. This comes after the Surbasse, or Surbaise, as we all love to know it as. Comes with the 120mm GI cannon, 120mm 25 G1 cannon with 40 rounds of ammo. And okay, so let's look at it. It does actually come with composite armor on the very front plate, protecting against 350mm of kinetic and 250mm of So 300mm of chemical, 250 for kinetic. Around the turret has basically 300-ish protection from both chemical and kinetic munitions. So this is not a particularly strong tank. However, the mantlet is protected, though the gun sight is unprotected. So if you want to immediately disable this tank, you shoot for the left side of the turret through the optic port right there. Let's light that up. So shoot through this thing. Shoot through that thing, because that's a tiny hole in the turret, and you will immediately kill the gunner and the commander. So this tank is equipped with the 120mm gun, and of course the glorious M63 M63 autocannon. Yep, just as usual, the 20mm autocannon as its coaxial. So let's check out
they also changed the premium thing.
For what?
The bundle T5 premium on that.
T5 what? Hey, we're not here to make Poland ball cry, T5. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about some stuff. So this tank comes with a dart as well. So you have a heat round that can penetrate 600mm, and a dart at around 500 can penetrate on a flat surface 370mm of armor. So not a particularly great top tier tank, but it's something, I guess. Honestly, not very many people were going to be, not that many people were going to actually, I guess, expecting the AMX-40 to a point. But there was, this also brings up the topic of somebody who apparently leaked the top tier tanks. Most of that list was wrong, because there's no M1 Abrams or M1A1 Abrams, there's no T-80, so on and so forth. The only real modern tanks I think that it actually got right was the Leopard 2s and the Type 90 Actually, you even got the Type 90 wrong. It said Type 90 prototype. No, we just got straight up Type 90.
Oh, because that thing's still highly classified.
Gianni. Angela, are you the guy who does the comics? Because then if you're watching this, I feel terrible for mispronouncing the Italian name. I love your comics. I am so sorry for butchering the Italian language. Oh boy. So, yeah. Okay, can destroy the front end of a IT-1. This is a pretty maneuverable tank. It kind of looks like they just made a welded version of the AMX-30 turret and then stuck it onto a more boxy chassis, though. This thing does move at a pretty fast clip. It's a pretty fast moving tank. The question is, does it have 8 gears in reverse, like they tell me in the memes? Okay, it goes just a bit slower in reverse, but it's pretty fast to respond in reverse, so there's that. So, whack. Yeah.
Does it get the secret option of white flag?
Yep. Okay, so 20mm cannon. Yep, so this is the AMX-40, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice new top tier, something different from the normal French AMX-40, and also, you know, people talking about the XM1 and stuff. Oh, you can just buy the top tier. Remember the fact that the French got an AMX-30 as their tier 5 premium. The only difference between it and the actual entry one is the fact that it does not have a 20mm cannon. Otherwise, it's the same exact tank, but as a premium. So
that's the one they slightly changed. They did something to it.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, the AMX-40. This is actually a pretty... I kind of like the look of this tank. It's different. It's not ugly, I would say, but it's a different looking tank. It looks pretty good. It looks definitely better than the one that was in the museum. Yep. The flags on the moon are so faded due to the vacuum and radiation. Oh, are we talking about the moon now? Are we still on the subject of Poland going into space in the comments? Come on, guys. Didn't Poland send an astronaut into space? Therefore, Poland cannot into space is actually an invalid meme. Kappa. God damn it, guys, and you freaking white flag memes. Okay, so of course, the French get a shiny new top tier tank. I'm actually very close to that, so I'm gonna go for that first. Actually, because it's the most realistic tank I can go for after the Surbasse. Meanwhile, in aviation, there's actually quite a few new French aircraft, so let's go through these before I lose my voice. So they got the F4U7. Didn't we already have the F4U7?
No, that's new.
Oh, they got... Oh, right. Yeah, that's the new... I keep thinking of something else, so I forgot about it. So this is the F4U7. The F4U7 Corsair is essentially the ground attack Corsairs that the Marines use, except that they refitted the F4U4's engine to it, thus actually making it able to be an actual fighter bomber rather than a dedicated attacker. And of course, this comes with the cannons, not the 50 cal armament. So basically this thing is capable of carrying French bombs, French and American bombs, I think, and of course Mantra rockets. Ow.
Yeah.
But it has performance similar to that of American. It has performance similar to that of the F4U4B. How many hours of War Thunder do you play a day? Depends. Sometimes I play like an hour or two, or probably none at all, just to log in, get my stuff. Because I do play other games from time to time. Like I've live streamed both of the expansions for Destiny 2. That's one of my favorite games to play other than War Thunder, you know. But yeah, so here we are looking at
this game for
all the time. Yeah, I do take breaks for War Thunder to play other games. You know, I gotta stay fresh, play other games. You know, sharpen my skills in other games. Come back to War Thunder, keep myself sharp here. But yeah, so this is the F4U7, And by the way, the F4U7, before some people will complain, oh, more, you know, American aircraft and trees, the F4U7 is actually very specifically a French contract aircraft. This was not a variant that ever went into service with the Americans. This is specifically French. It is very French. Interesting fact, they actually tried to strap SS-11 anti-tank missiles to this plane. And in testing, so imagine in the cockpit that with your right hand you were trying to control a tiny little joystick, trying to get an anti-tank missile onto a target like this thing. But of course that didn't work out, and most people just shoot ground targets anyway, in, you know, classic fashion. And of course, so basically this is a fighter bomber Corsair. Very fast, very capable, and absolutely will destroy everything at its tier, especially for close air support in combined battles. So if you need a close air support aircraft for your high tier French tank line, absolutely check out the Corsair. This is probably going to be one of the better aircraft to use for close air support.
I wonder if that gets the 3 superchargers.
You are mega fresh. Thanks, Justin P. What do you think of the Centurion AVRE? Yes, it is literally it is a British. It basically it basically fires small nukes, especially with the fact that they did rework the Hesh rounds according to the dev. If you look at the dev patch notes, basically I think Hesh is more effective on sloped armor, and the effect multiplies on sloped armor. So, ow. Are they removing the Panther 2 and Tiger 105 this patch? Actually, I do not know. I haven't looked into all the way deep into the patch notes. We'll talk about the minutia, like the technical detail minutia, in a little bit. I'll pull it up on, like, I'll pull up like the desktop and actually pull up the patch notes in a moment if I can. Actually, I'll just pull this up on Google while I talk about some of the other aircraft here. So the next French aircraft to look at, we're almost at the end of this here. So they get a new bomber, another bomber aircraft. It's the LE. So we already have the early model. It was like an early model of the what is it? There was an early model of the Leo series, and then now there's a new version of. There's the early version of this bomber, which had a turret, 20mm turrets, 7.5, and then the late model, I think it just has improved engines, to my knowledge. Don't really know. Let's go check this out. So this one has Gnome Rome, so 700. So this is like 700 horsepower. It has the rear-facing Hispano cannon, so on and so forth. And then the early model of this had, what is this? The early model, I honestly don't know what the difference between these two are, other than maybe, I guess it's some smaller minutia. Otherwise, it's basically just another model of the LEO 451 bombers, but did IS-6 get slight armor difference. Changed? Slight difference.
IS-6, I don't think they touched its armor, because they did. Yeah. They've completely done with that thing's armor in like the last couple updates.
Yep. Okay, and last but not least, you get an F-84. You get an F-84. Everybody gets an F-84. So, the French, I guess it appears to be the French Navy or something, they get a F-84 G model. Another F-84 which does not, what is that? So, essentially, it can carry Tiny Tims, 32 H4. So basically, it's another F-84G. So it's another top tier close air support aircraft for the French, a jet close air support aircraft. right before, and this is going right before the Mystérière 2C pre-production. So if you're trying to get this aircraft, finish your research and buy it now. Otherwise, this thing will get in your way. Sadly. Oh boy. And we are.
That actually looks quite.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of all the vehicles that are new and shiny and minutia of War Thunder. Now, let me go find the email, which gave me the link to the friggin' patch notes, which again are in the description, so you can read along as we finally go talk about technical minutia related to the patch. So this is all the technical stuff that's changed. I'm going to pull it up on Google Chrome if Chrome would, respond to me. Yeah, friggin' moron of a program. Once it loads here, make sure OBS kind of doesn't want to murder me for any reason at all. No, it's not what I wanted to pull up. There we go. F11 full screen that so you guys don't see any personal information here. And we will bring up the... Yep, so now we'll be looking at some of the more technical minutia here. So the one thing I didn't get to talk about in the patch because I don't have access to it. So this patch is going to be the patch where we're going to see the the navies of War Thunder are going to be going into closed beta testing. You can get into the closed beta testing by either buying the boats, like JFK's PT boat, the Russian gunboat, the German Schnellboot. Those will be leaving the store as soon as the testing begins. And then the only premiums for the navies will be the destroyers. So that would be the Cowell.
Fletcher.
Cowell and the Carl Gloucester destroyers. So, excuse me. So the USA is getting all their so the first two nations coming in for the navies is the USA and Germany. They already did. We already did USA and Japan honestly doesn't have as many small boats as the Germans do. Hence why. So there will be all the locations that we've seen in the testing will be coming in: Arabian Gulf, African Gulf, Fiji, Northern Port, Irish Bay, Mediterranean Port, North Sea, Norway, and the Andaman Sea. So that will be all the naval battles. So new areas for missions and battles. We'll check out the new map, which is Italy. Location and mission updates. Zhengzhou air battles has been changed. Many corrections for roads and bridges, so we're probably not going to have any more of those cars going to the side of the road, not on the bridge, going through the river and up the other side. Herkin has been changed up, and the Ardennes map had a small town added to the central part of the location, and a number of bushes and smaller trees has been reduced, probably to the annoyance of some people. Aircraft model, damage model, characteristic and weaponry changes. A bug where occasionally mean time between failures. Effect value on new MGs and cannons. Modifications was displayed lower than it actually has been fixed. Armor for the fuel tanks for BF-109G2 have been increased. Let's see. So cannon mass has been adjusted for the MK108 cannon. SB2M 203 has WEP. KI-49s, apparently all versions of the KI-49 no longer have an 800 kilogram bomb load. Sad face. All the two DOE 217s have been grouped into one research line. The Whirlwind Mark I now has external bombs. KI-27 Otsu had additional fuel tanks removed. A bomb load for the Lincoln bomber. It comes with a bomb. Now has 14,000 pounds, as in 1,000 pound bomb load has been added. Some issues with the KI-61, IL-28, Kika bombing preset with 800 kilogram armor piercing bomb has been removed. Well, shit. Now you can't really rip. Well, you can't use that in naval battles anymore. Because, you know, the naval armor piercing bomb was designed for, you know, obvious reasons to penetrate ships. Now the Kika can only use the Army HE bomb. MK-103 cannon. Ignition tracer ammunition has been changed to incendiary ammunition. F6F now has the all modifications of the F6F now carries the Mark 13 44 torpedo. Oh boy.
Oh, good, the usable torpedo.
The P-80A5 is now renamed to the F-80A5. Okay, that's interesting. Mass of the suspended gun pod DGP-1 machine gun has been corrected. B-29's bomb drop order has been corrected. BK 37mm cannon has been corrected. Armor for the I-16 has been corrected. Ki-67 had armor added. Yeah, a lot of minutia. This is minutia. Welcome to minutia. Sit in the minutia.
Rockets have been added.
And of course, let's see. Oh boy. I think this is the other reason why this patch is called Project X. Heinkel 177 added a controlled bomb, the Fritz X 1400. To aim, you need to adjust the axis of pitch of yaw. The control of the bomb is implemented as a control of the rudders with the display of the current point of incident. This is the point is the crosshairs of the bomb site. Risks mark the zone in which the aerodynamic capabilities of the bomb allow you to make correction for the hit point. In other words, the closer it is to the ground, the less adjustment is available. So essentially, the higher up you are with the bomb, the more of a chance you have to correct the bomb's flight path. And I guess now we will have to go look at that. Let me find the button. Let's go back to that, ladies and gentlemen. And I need F11 out of Google, back into War Thunder, and we will now go back to this. So this is something. Surprise, motherfuckers! Who cares about the fucking prototype Abrams? The fucking Heinkel gets a motherfucking aimed bomb. Wait, what?
Wait.
Excuse me. Yeah. It gets 3? Gaijin, what's wrong with you? Gaijin, what's wrong with you? Are you insane? Oh boy, that's gonna be funny.
Have an insane guy in charge.
Yeah. Well, let's get to it. And of course, the Fritz X bomb is the very bottom tier for this aircraft, so we're gonna have to really oh boy. We're gonna have to bring this into a custom battle to really check it out in any sort of way. So let me get to it here.
Which custom?
And of course, by the way, you can't just simply buy it once you unlock the tiers to do so. You actually do have to buy the max bomb load before getting to the Fritz X bomb. Cheeky. They added an arrow pointing to the right. You cheeky bastards. By the way, we're just gonna I'm just gonna get some of the extra like engine injection stuff because we're gonna need some extra horsepower if we're gonna carry the sucker around.
Oh, you definitely need engine upgraded.
Yeah. Okay, so let's carry the Fritz X bomb and let's just do a test flight. Can't mission editor. Okay, so let me add this to a crew here. Okay, so Uli. Yep. So if there's questions that anybody else who's on the dev server, there's smaller questions that I missed, guys who are already on the dev server, you're more than happy to answer the question if I missed it completely. So let's see. Let's bring this thing into a custom battle so I can actually test it. And we're gonna... Oh, actually, before we do that, let's get a look at this thing. What in the actual fuck? What the hell? Oh my god. If that isn't Wonderwaffens, I don't know what is. Just look at that. This is the stuff. This is the type of thing that makes friggin' FDR stay up at night. This is the type of thing that keeps FDR up at night in the corner of his bed, sucking his thumb. this thought. Oh, this is why you have that mission in Sniper Elite 4, where you have to go destroy, shit, you know?
Yeah.
And shoot people in the balls. Yeah, that's right.
As you do.
Nut shot. Okay, so we're gonna actually, we're gonna check out the, let's see, okay, so there's multiple, we're just gonna use the ground forces map for this, because we're gonna check it out, combined battles, so, hey, might as well knock out two birds with one stone. I'm gonna furiously type this password in, you'll never see it again, so,
pause this video, watches it in,
If you guys join this battle, I'm gonna make you guys cry. Go away.
Goes back, watches video in like 1 frame per second.
So these bombs are wire guided, and today's unfortunate targets for these bombs is tanks. Because what better aircraft to use? What better targets to use with guided bombs than tanks? Oh boy, the amount of trolling some people are going to do at high tier battles when they carry a Heinkel 177 in and just start guiding bombs in on fucking all the poor Abrams noobs. Oh. We're going to just auto assault fuse on because we don't care. This is a high altitude bomber. Why the bloody hell would I need to use it any lower? Okay, so let's check out. Okay, this gun sight. So the bomb gun sight. Also, by the way, there's a cockpit for the Heinkel, though it's a placeholder. I can't see anything, but yeah. So the bomb sight for the Fritz Act has these basically markers that like lines of some sort. So let's drop one of these bombs. It says like you have to use the control the rudders, axis, let's see, so.
God. Just like chugging along.
Yep. So it's chugging along here, so, yeah. I honestly, let's see, let's try another one. Can't tell what happened there. But, by the way, here's a flyover the Italian map. Oh, man. That is beautiful. Look at that. And you got the Italian coastline as well, right outside the map. Whew. This is a beautiful little map right here. Look at that.
That's interesting. It basically acts from the lock-on computer from Star Wars.
So let's get a bearing around here because get this giant, freaking massive bird. So the Fritz X is the first guided munition for aircraft, though of course obviously it's not rocket powered. It's just a boom. Get this thing over and around. Try to bomb something as fast as I can. Auto level. Let's see. Drop. Oh, there's another little dot that comes up. So you have to. There's like another like dot. What are the controls for this missile? Ow. Oh, okay. So once you drop the bomb, the camera starts following the target, and it will continue following the target until the bomb explodes. Okay, so maybe one more practice run here. Let's try to hit that house, maybe? So, I'm gonna try hitting this house.
On the altitude.
So basically, it acts a lot like ATGMs that are currently in the game. Your aircraft will lock onto a specific heading while you take control of the bombs, but reloading the bombs. Oh, rudder control Q and E. Okay, no wonder why I'm dumb. God. See, I'm not the smartest YouTuber out there. You know, I can be a good pilot, but I'm not particular. I can always fuck up. Okay, let's attempt number 2 on the bomb run here, ladies and gentlemen, with the Fritz X bomb. Fritz X 1400, which I assume means it's a 1400 kilogram bomb. So let's just look at poor Cecil. We all see little poor Cecil right here, right? Let's oh, never mind. Well, we're just gonna drop a bomb somewhere. So
my grape fields.
Okay, let's see. Q and E. Okay, that's interesting. The thing is, can't you control, so axis, pitch, and yaw, control all the rudders. Let's actually check something with the controls here, because I want to know how this actually works with, you know, instead of being dumb. Where would that be? Open bomb bay door, pitch axis for aim weapons. Well, I'm dumb, ladies. So you have to actually pitch. Fuck. So pitch is up and down, right, guys? Anyone? Prequel?
What, elevator?
Okay, so we're gonna use arrow keys. We're gonna set arrow keys for this. So up.
If you mean your elevators, it's page up.
Oh, I'm setting, because apparently, okay, so note to self, basically these controls you actually have to assigned. I think I'm getting shot at by something. Oh well. We're left and reset value. Add. What? My plane is on fire! Why is it on fire? Oh no! It's on fire! I'm dead.
Holy shit, you tried.
Well, shit. Well, that's one hike. Well, great. Now, let's just hope, you know, as the crew parachutes out, Hans, you better hope that bomb explodes.
Hans can't hear.
So let's try that again, ladies and let's try this again here. Fritz X bomb. Run number 2. Let's drop it on that house. Okay, there we go. Now the controls are actually doing something, I think. Okay, I hit something. Let's see if we can kill Cecil this time. So, once again, the lower you drop, by the way, the lower you drop the bombs, the less time you'll have to actually correct the aim. So, this is the type of thing that should be used for, especially against naval targets. This is the type of bomb that would be used against naval targets, merchant shipping or destroyers and otherwise. So, I'm gonna try to kill Cecil here.
Sniper carriers.
It feels like I'm not doing anything. What if I just hold, let's see, we aimed at like that one tree line. Let's see if we can just make it aim toward the forest over here. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, the one thing I will say, It shouldn't be it shouldn't be lagging too badly, but yeah. So the one thing,
apparently it is.
Is it lagging?
No, I'm watching it on Steam and Twitch, and it's just like chugging along.
Oh, I think I
like
know what. I think I
FPS.
think I know what's wrong. There we go. It might have been Google.
Oh, there we go. That's fixed it.
Yep. Yeah. Apparently, when I turned on Google Chrome, it killed the stream. Let's hope is it better on your end, Prequel?
Yeah, it's fixed now. No,
Yeah,
it's acting a lot better now. Yeah. It's like at like 5 FPS per second or some shit.
Yep. So let's see what happens if we just glide one of these things in, while I maintain extreme overload. Extreme overload.
What about the rest of you guys watching the stream a bit better? Waiting for that one comment being like, no, it's fucking dead.
Oh wait, I used the wrong. Let's see if I can. Well, okay, I guess we won. Good job. Okay, so the Fritz X bombs, you have to set controls for them, and I don't know. They don't have the sensitivity. Seems a little weird. Maybe that's something that I'll have to test more and more later. We can probably, heck, I might even do just a video on the Heinkel just for the specific purpose of talking about the Fritz X bombs. Now, that's really interesting. So, is it lagging again? It shouldn't be.
It's like here and there. There's
because like the stream should be running fine. I'm not getting any buffer overloads on my end. Yeah, it should be fine now. But yeah, so the Fritz X bombs are the first guided munitions in the game, though their effectiveness, this is most likely gonna definitely be better suited for naval combat, because that's what they were designed for, hitting merchant shipping and the like. I guess I'll keep the stuff regarding the dev server notes in my laptop for now. So there's also a lot of other minutia that was involved with the for ground vehicles, a lot. So like apparently the Type 74 did get a reduction in its horsepower, because apparently they got some more information from various books in Japanese. Armament, French armament changes. The Maus. The Maus apparently did get a slight buff to its upper front plate on the mantlet.
And its turret. Its turret got buffed as well.
The material of the front turret part armor has been corrected from cast to rolled homogeneous armor. So,
yep, so it's glorious meme now.
Yep, so unfortunately for all of us,
Mouse is strong.
So the actual turret armor, not the mantlet, the turret armor is rolled homogeneous armor so this thing at 7.7 is now a meme again. Prepare your anuses. Anybody else? The mouse the mouse is big.
Strong
Terror of BRs is back. The original Tier 5 terror is making its return. So Panzergranat 3988 Panzergranat 3943 for the 8.8 88 KWK 43 Pack 43 got buffed pretty hard. As in,
what was that? The shells.
The shells got the KWK 43, so that would be the standard type. So your standard 88mm gun, the shells have been buffed. The Panzergranat 43 has been boofed pretty good.
Wow. Okay.
So boofed. So they've been correct for penetration for angles of the encounter at 30 degrees have been increased, but penetration for 60 degrees has been reduced. Same thing with the Flak 37 or the KWK 36 and the 128 millimeter cannons as well, with slight increases. So some of the guns have better performance against 30 millimeters of 30 degrees sloped armor, but they have slightly less effectiveness against steeper sloped armor, something of that nature. At least if I missed that, read that wrong. Ugh. Okay. So same thing. So a lot of shells have that been changed. And of course, the BS-41 12.7 millimeter shell has also got an increase in armor penetration. Oh boy. The AMX-4, AMX-50 has an increase of side armor from thickness from 30 millimeters to 40 millimeters. AMX-4 with the Saint Shimon prototype 100 millimeter turret. Our Swedish the short source is a Swedish translation of some documents. Let's see. So basically, a lot of the other stuff is basically a lot more minutia regarding ground forces. If you guys want to read all these patch changes in detail, please go check out the patch notes there. Panzergranate and Rakitenjag Panzer are so easy to pronounce. I have no idea why so many people have problems with it. Depends. Not everybody can speak German, though. I know many miles away is learning how to speak German.
Panzergranate 40 or Panzergranate.
Yeah.
Panzergranate. Yeah, that's
fly by herd of me's. When does this update drop? It will drop probably within the next 2 weeks at most. It could be any time from now in the next 2 weeks, so be ready for it. Though, let's go back again, because I know some people who are late to the stream, and let's talk about, once again, and oh boy, a Talisman 7690 is now following. Thank you for follow on Twitch. Let's talk about this again, even though I talked about it earlier in the stream. Let's just talk about this thing very quickly in detail. This is the GM prototype XM1. It is faster
back in a minute.
to a point. Yep. So it's faster to a point than the standard M1A1 Abrams, but as you can clearly see, it does not have the same level of crew protection that the M1 A1 or the M1 Abrams. Why do I keep saying M1A1? We don't even have the M1A1 yet. It does not have the same armor protection as the standard Abrams in the game. Therefore, it is significantly more inferior to the M1A1. And it only comes with the same cannon that the M60s in the tree and the Magok have. So you don't get access to those really, really nice darts that the actual M1 Abrams has. So this thing honestly shouldn't scare you. Most other tanks in the game can go right through it. Except for Chemical and even a Raketen Jagdpanzer with the SS-11 missiles. A Centurion with the SS-11 missiles can go right through the front of the turret. This thing has basically none of the armor protection nor any of the crew protection that the normal M1 Abrams affords. Probably because this is the failed prototype, being the GM prototype. Unfortunately, I do not know about the Chrysler prototype, which was the winning prototype, because that is the Xbox One exclusive. So for all you Xbox guys out there, I can't tell you what that looks like. And Gaijin, unfortunately, has not provided us with that tank. So we do not know. None of us really know what the armor protection on that vehicle is. However, it's safe to say that even though this is a 9.0 tank, it has armor protection that honestly is not that much better than, I would say, the XM803. Actually, let's get a look at that for a moment. Honestly, the XM803 has slightly better overall protection around the sides of the turret than M1, but really, again, I honestly don't think that the XM1 Abrams should be anything anybody should be scared of. You should be scared of the fact that it's very maneuverable, but otherwise every other tank at that tier, at the 9.0, 6.0 rank, can absolutely shove it into the ground. Remain fearful of the actual M1 Abrams. Do not fear the XM1 Abrams. If there's any tank that you should be fucking scared of, be scared of the Type 90. Be scared of this thing. This thing fast. This thing have auto-loader. This is very honorable. End rant. And of course, this is... What time is it? It is 6:15. I'm kind of hungry. My throat is sore as all hell. I might do another stream later where I'll just fuck around on the dev server, maybe with some of you guys if you want to jump on the Discord. Or heck, because the dev server will be up throughout the weekend, depending if they don't close it suddenly, I'll probably just have a let's play with people who can get onto the dev server and let's have some fun checking out the dev server and stuff before the actual dev server drops, and me having fun with tanks that I can't actually get to until I grind through them. So without further ado, this is the end of the stream. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Please follow me on Twitch. The next guide video will be coming out soon. It is the Mark 9 series of Spitfire, so look out for that video. Justin P has asked me to say honorable. Wait. Very honorable. Oh, honorable. Okay. Yeah, so with that out of the way, I want to say thank you guys for stopping by the stream. Once the stream comes in processes on YouTube, I will go back and put in the description of the stream all the timestamps. At least if I remember, I'll put all the timestamps for all the vehicles that we went over in the stream. Again, if you want to learn more about what's in the dev server patch, go check out the dev server preliminary patch notes. If you want to get on the dev server before it closes, there should be a link somewhere in that dev server forum for the client launcher. Make sure you install that separately from your normal War Thunder client. It is big. It is the same size as the current client, except